Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Ha yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. We are going to take it home today with Gazza.
Hell yeah.
Part 4. And
let's put a ribbon on him.
I'm telling you, this will be obviously our longest one so far. We've done 3 parts on other people. This is a 4-parter until we get to Vince McMahon and his 68-part epic. When we decide to end the show, that's what we're going to say. We're going to end it in 1 year, and it'll be a 52-part Vince McMahon episode until the end. That's how we'll do it. That's how we're going to end the show. And it's just going to be a ball.
And we'll change the name of the show just to the Vince McMahon
Chronicles
Trials and Tribulations Chronicles.
the Vince Chronicles. And
I'll do Vince Problems.
And I'll do the entire shows in my Vince McMahon voice. And then I'll have throat surgery afterwards because I'll sound like this. Yeah.
It's already like it's already like this show is just the Paul Gascoigne show. I don't know. I don't remember the last time we covered anybody else.
No, it does, because we've been. This is, but you know what? That's actually good because that's what it's like to know Paul or know of Paul is to have Paul's
be in his orbit. Yeah,
is to have Paul's horseshit take over everything because that's what he is. So I hope you know what that worked then.
He's an enigma.
We did it. We hopefully gave you the feeling of what it's like to know this man, because I feel like that's what it would be.
Welcome to Paul Gascoigne 4.
That's right. Paul Gascoigne 4. We will get into that very quickly, though. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is the site. Head there. Merch is up. And also tickets for live shows for Small Town Murder. That's the name of the show, right? Small Town Murder. Yeah, oh, yeah. That'll be 2024. The whole catalog is on sale, so get in there and do that. You also certainly want to listen to Your Stupid Opinions if you haven't yet. I don't know what you're waiting for. There is a ball stretcher this week.
It is. Oh, boy.
There's a motel with more rats than people, and then Frontier, which is worse than a motel with more rats than people. A nightclub where there's a lot of punching going on this week in the show. It's
crazy.
It's very fun. Punching and rats and roaches. Check all poop is everywhere.
Oh, of course.
Check that out for sure. So get into that.
And a tiny sex pest named Sean.
And that's a tiny man in a polo shirt named Sean who will trade sexual favors for drinks, allegedly. You definitely want Patreon. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Let's face it. Our Patreon is the best value in podcasting.
Terrific.
We're not going to lie to you. $5 a month or above gives you a giant back catalog of episodes. You're going to get over 200 episodes immediately to back catalog binge. And then you're going to get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all.
All of it.
All of it. And this week, what we're going to do for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about the strangest injuries in sports history.
Yeah.
This is everything from Sid Justice jumping off the top rope and snapping his leg to the guy kicking himself in the back of the head in baseball as he tried to go to first base. All of that shit we're going to talk about all the way back in time. And there's some weird ones from back in the day, so we'll get into that. Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about old-timey murders. These are this is like a popular demand one we had to bring back because a lot of people are asking about it. We go back into old newspaper archives from way back in time, and we find some horrid things that people did.
It's crazy.
And the newspaper was just completely frank about, just horribly frank. Like, wow, that is wild stuff. So check that out. Patreon.com/crime and sports. And Jimmie will mispronounce your name at the end of the show.
You bet.
While he would love to get it correct. So that said, let's get into this because holy shit, we need to clean up old Paulie here. Part 4. Now, where we left off last week was it's 2011.
Yeah.
And he had just finished another autobiography, his third, I believe, autobiography. This one mainly just a fluff piece about his career, just like his soccer memories and shit like that. Yeah, this is less about his fuck-ups, which is pretty funny. Yeah. Because this is when he's trying to turn a new public leaf here. He wants to be like a manager of a team. So, to be like in charge of, it's one thing to be a player and be crazy. That's fine. Sure. But to be in charge of something, people like you to be reasonably stable. So,
be nice.
Looks like you're going to show up on time, like with a lineup, run a practice correctly, have a plan of how to win the game. You know,
whistle.
Yeah, the manager or the coach of a team has to be the most organized person there. Like they have to make sure.
Clipboard and shit.
They have to know what everybody's doing. So, you kind of can't be a fuck-up to do that sort of thing. No. So he's trying to do better. Now, August 3rd, 2011, he sues The Sun, the newspaper The Sun, over for defamation and invasion of privacy. Okay. Now, he sued for defamation before and libel and shit like that. He launches this lawsuit here. One of the headlines he's suing over is one that says, Gazza off to rehab after lager trek to Pal Moat and to Pal Moat. So Gazza off to says he went to rehab after he drank a bunch to go see on the way to go see his friend.
Oh, okay.
And the second story was it's Paw, P-A-W, Gascoigne. Both of these were published.
What does that mean?
But we'll find out. Both of these were published in July 2010. So he's suing over this a year later. In the first story, they published enough information about the location of the clinic that Gascoigne believed that people were spying on him with the paper's encouragement, which interfered with his treatment, he claimed. Okay. So they gave away his rehab spot. People came and bothered him. Okay. That seems like a real stretch. I mean, they shouldn't be giving away his rehab location anyway. No, but I guess if they're gathering outside or doing whatever, that would affect your shit. But
maybe,
seems like a stretch to sue over that.
Is it outpatient?
I doubt
is it. Like
this guy? No. This they're hanging on to him. I feel like, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't go. He doesn't do outpatient.
Right. They're not sitting in the courtyard where everybody smokes and looking for autographs.
Walking around with robes on and shit.
Right. And there's just random people in there and Manchester U shirts.
Yeah. That's our vision of it anyway.
Terry Towel robe.
Terry robe, smoking out in the main area there.
Yeah, with messy hair and slippers.
We've seen it all. But feeling okay.
Yeah, that's the introspective uniform. Where you go, I'm a piece of shit.
You take a long drag while looking off into the distance, right? And you're like,
yeah. In that robe and slippers with messy hair, just going, boy, did I fuck up.
Wasted a lot of my life, didn't I? Yes, I did.
I'll continue.
Oh, man. So he claimed here that it was evident from his intervention with the killer. Remember when he came into that Paul Moat guy and got him to surrender? He said he was going to get him to, he won't kill me because I'm his buddy, that guy.
Yeah.
He said he was in desperate need of treatment here. So I guess last year he arrived where, as we know, where police were hunting and they ended up trying to find this guy because he killed a bunch of people. So according to this, Radio Northeast suggested, according to reports, that Gascoigne had brought Moat a can of lager, some chicken, a mobile phone, and a blanket. Remember, we brought that something to keep warm. Yep. So in this lawsuit, Gascoigne claims that the stories breached his reasonable expectation of privacy and caused such distress that the challenge of rehabilitation became even more difficult for him. Now, if you're a world famous athlete, if we had a murderer on the loose that the whole country was hunting for, and say Shaquille O'Neal decided he wanted to go
bounty hunt
and bring him beer and chicken and a blanket, that would be a news story. People would be reporting that Shaquille O'Neal, the retired athlete, is on his way with beer and chicken and a blanket for this murderer, and he's going to intervene and get the cops to back off while he talks. That'd be a huge story. So you cannot say that we can't report that. How do you not report that? It's insane.
And then Shaq went to rehab after, and us reporting that he tried to talk this lunatic.
He said, I talked to this guy and he interfered with my rehab. Because I went to stand and the guy didn't kill nobody else, but I interfered with my rehab right now. I'm trying to get some rehab in.
Was that about?
I'm trying to rehab from all this lemon pepper Costco chicken.
I mean, too much lemon pepper Costco chicken, and you know what I'm saying? I did that. There ain't no such thing as Shazam, but I did other things, though. There's a lot of other things like that I did, you know what I'm saying? If you did that, if you do Shaq Fu, you should buy that shit. It's real good still. You could download it. I'm sure it's on Spotify or something like that. You know, you could do that.
I loved the video game, Shaq. I really did. It was so much fun.
You used to hang out with Foosh Nickens. They come over and do some raps and shit, and I just stand around, you know, I do my raps, but they'd write them kind of for me and just talk about me dunking all the time and shit like that.
That would be...
Get your ass kicked in the park.
Oh, man.
Shit.
That would be a big story.
Why'd you do it? Yeah, it'd be huge.
It'd be a big story. So in the second story, the son claimed he had committed sexual assault.
Oh.
That's different. That could be libelous.
It's a bit accusatory, yeah.
By walking into a chemist's shop and groping a shop assistant's breasts.
That's a pharmacist, yes.
And they called him, I guess so, yeah, and they called him a dirty old man.
Shit.
In the paper.
It's bad when one person thinks that of you. An author put that message in a bunch of people's
dirty old man. There we are. Lovely.
Chemist.
Lovely, dirty old man he is. Dirty old man, isn't he? So, apparently, I mean, you can't just walk in and grab a chemist's tits, can you? That's a weird...
But you can't just
write
do that, can you?
Imagine going into a science lab and just grabbing someone's tits. It's the weirdest place to do that, if you're going to do that at all.
She's counting aspirin.
I would think that has to have some ring of truth to it to write it. Or, in America, you'd have to go, this is what's being alleged.
Yeah.
You can't say this happened.
Right.
You'd say this is what's being alleged of him, and that's okay to say here. Whereas in England, the libel laws are much different.
Wow.
And honestly, kind of annoying if you ask me,
Yeah, if you can't say what's being alleged, you have to wait until they are adjudicated as such? Is that true?
I guess so, yeah, apparently. Wow. And that's the other thing, too. Like, if these laws were in America, all we would do is, it would be nothing but court. That's all it would be.
The court would be locked up.
All it would be was every celebrity suing everybody, and then people couldn't get their gossipy news that they love, and it would be pretty much the end of gossip as we know it in America. So he is seeking aggravated damages, saying it was extremely difficult for an alcoholic to give up drinking and recover, and he added that he fears that without an injunction, the allegations will be repeated in the paper.
Yeah.
He's seeking an injunction banning publication of information about his medical condition or medical treatment, including treatment for alcohol addiction. Okay. So he's basically saying, I don't want to be famous, is what he's saying. Because That's the only way that happens. That's the trade-off of fame. Otherwise, what's
Right.
why not be famous then? That'd be great.
The draw of it is to be talked about.
And also the downfall of it is
To be talked
about.
Yeah, it's a catch-22.
I mean,
guys.
when something bad happens,
Sword
and
with two sides, shit like that.
everybody cheers you, something bad happens, everybody laughs at you.
Yes.
That's famous.
Right.
So, sorry.
The trick is to do more positive than negative, Paul.
It's kind of on you if you want to become
Yeah.
famous. It's not like they, picked him out of the womb and said, we're going to follow this young man for the rest of his life. And, it's not what happened.
I wonder,
sought
did
this
he
out.
grab a titty? Jesus.
I mean, who knows? Well, later on, it's his. I'm not saying he did it, but it's his MO. As we show you a picture later on, you're going to go, "Oh my God, that's the same thing that he was accused of the other place."
You
So
can't grab titties.
he will grab a titty.
You can't do that.
He'll pull a Bill Murray and Kingpin and just
Guide her around.
by the
God,
tit.
I'd love it, but you can't.
There's a picture later that you see it and you're like, oh God, you can't do that. So that's what he wants. He instructed his lawyers to follow suit. In July, he became one of the lead cases in the News of the World phone hacking litigation.
Oh.
Yes, because I guess there was that's been a big thing that the News of the World was hacking people's phones, I guess.
Oh.
And stealing info out of it.
That's how they got, and they were writing articles based on that proprietary information. You can't do that.
No, or that's how they know to look into things or whatever. So, that's what's going on here. According to this case arises out of a disclosure of information by because he's got a civil damages claim against News Group newspapers. That's a different thing, and that arises out of a disclosure of information by the Metropolitan Police relating to material forfeited by private investigator Glenn Mulcair, who, with former News of the World royal editor Clive Goodman, was jailed over royal phone taps in 2007. Oh. So in his writ against the Sun, Gascoigne alleges that Glenn Mulcair hacked into a phone message left by his friend James Gardner this was a message for former Professional Footballers Association Chief Executive Gordon Taylor, asking for the PFA to help with the cost of a surgery on his spine.
Okay.
So, the phone hacking was, he's also saying that it's exacerbated his alcoholism, drove him to the edge of suicide.
Oh.
Yeah. Paul will say about this, at the time I was going through a bad time because I knew I was getting hacked. I knew 110%, and no one believed it.
Okay.
So
drove him to drink.
He was telling everybody while they were all hacking people's phones, he was telling everybody someone's hacking my phone. And they were all like, here's fucking crazy Paul again.
There he is.
That's the problem. Broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah. Tinfoil hat, Paul.
Yeah. You could be a crazy person, but once in a while your shit's going to be right. If you have 100 crazy things, 1 out of 100 will be right.
It's not bad.
And then you feel extra crazy when no one will listen to that because you know it's happening. So he said, I was speaking to a therapist and it clicked again. So he's talking to his therapist, and he said they were.
And he can hear the click in the phone when they click in.
Apparently so. He told me I'm paranoid. I'm going through a mental disorder. I said there's fuck all wrong with me. I know I'm getting hacked. I know. And he put the phone down on us. I never told a lie. I've got nothing to lie about. Nothing. I've waited 15 years to be sat here. I'm disgusted, really. 15 years. Can I say one final thing? I'd like to trade my mobile phone. I'd like to trade my mobile in for a coffin because those guys have ruined my life.
Oh, my.
That's what he told the therapist at the time. He said that's from his book. So that's how much of a big deal.
There's certainly something wrong with you. It's just not that part.
No, and he eventually wins a damages suit based on the hacking as well. So
Jesus.
They did hack his phone, turns out. So he was right. Sometimes, when the paranoid motherfuckers who are paranoid about shit are right about the shit they're paranoid about.
The scary part is that when he's right about one thing,
then he thinks
it makes him extra believing in his other bullshit.
And that's how conspiracy theories
that's how crazies get crazy.
That's how crazy people get crazy. Because if you have 100 conspiracy theories, one of them's true. Yeah. And then they all must be true because they're hiding it from me.
Yeah.
They're all hiding it from me. Just live your fucking life, losers. God damn it.
Yeah, none of this affects you.
That's what I love. Yes. See, for him, this is a conspiracy theory that personally affects him. I get that.
Yeah.
If one doesn't affect you, shut the fuck up and go play with your kids, you fucking loser.
Go hug them, you love them so much.
Otherwise, when your kids are in therapy in 30 years and they're asking, how'd your dad fuck you up so bad or how'd your mom fuck you up so bad, go, well, I mean, they were right that one time. So, I guess it makes sense now why they wouldn't do anything with me because they were looking into fucking rabbit holes of bullshit.
It's just wild how entertainment turns to brainwashing. Like my uncle thought the Hail Bop thing was he fucking believed wholeheartedly in that whole spaceship is in the tail of it thing.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
I don't know. That it's certainly my family.
Thank fuck he didn't know the address of the place to go to get super involved in that. That's good.
Thank God he was too busy working during the day that he didn't have time to go research anything.
That's the thing. That's what fucked us all up.
Yeah.
As soon as everybody was in the house for 2 weeks, it was over because
and now they can convince themselves.
Yeah, people who are too busy, they work all day, they get home, they're tired, they're not going to have time to go down rabbit holes, they're going to eat dinner, they're going to watch football, they're going to go to bed. These people are now like, really? Yeah. Oh, I knew it. Now they're no.
He had a picture of the Hail Bop comet in his garage until the day he fucking died.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. God
under a shade tree in August in Phoenix, dehydrated.
Fuck, man. Oh, God.
Lunatic.
We need an IQ test that goes with internet access. Not with voting or anything like that. Internet access. Are you smart enough to do this? Because this information is dangerous in the wrong hands. This access to just bullshit is just way
That'll
too
help
dangerous.
on first dates a lot. Do you have an internet account? I do. Do you have access to the internet?
I'm hoping someday. Nope. We're gone. So February 3rd, 2013, his agent says now his life is in danger because he started drinking again.
Really?
Thanks a lot, agent, for blowing my cover there.
The sun made him drink.
Yeah, apparently he was on stage at a charity event in Northampton and was shaking and slurring his words, which is a bad sign.
Shaking? That implies he needs alcohol, but the slurring implies he's been drinking.
Maybe maybe he, right before he stepped on stage, when he was in the midst of a real withdrawal, that he just downed a bunch and was like, oh, that's about it. And then he still had some residual shakes, though.
Or do you think there's some,
pills,
medication going on? Yeah.
He's had spinal surgeries.
Right? Oh, for sure. He's,
come on.
There's some medication.
And he's a guy who likes shit like that anyway. And then now he's got reasons to use it because his body is fucked up. I mean,
I believe it.
There's no doubt about that he's in some pain on a daily basis. So for this guy to be on pills is not a stretch, and we're not saying he is. Just that's possible.
It's certainly a alleged by me.
It's certainly alleged to have thought to have been. Oh, we're not in England. I think this motherfucker is popping all sorts of shit.
I think so, too. Yeah.
So his agent told BBC Radio 5, he won't thank me for saying it, but he immediately needs to get help. And he said, whatever's happened to him in the 5 or 6 weeks since I saw him before Christmas, he is not as well as he's been. His life is always in danger because he is an alcoholic. Maybe no one can save him. I don't know. I really don't know. So, sounds worried about him. Like, I'm going public because I'm just worried.
Yeah. And sometimes alcoholism is so far gone that quitting will kill you.
Well, yeah, if you can't quit, quit immediately. Yeah, pills do. Pills do. Like, that happens to a lot of people if they go in. If
the body is so...
You have to be on
dependent
a lot.
upon it.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
Like
it's
Goering,
not tomorrow.
Like Goering when they captured him, like Herman Goering.
Yeah.
They captured Goering, and he was on so many fucking pills that they said they had to wean him.
You have to
for like
Otherwise
months. For like months, they had to do it because he was on like, holy shit! How do you? He's more pill than man. Like, how the fuck do you eat that? He would just eat them like candy all day.
Jesus.
Like
I visited my uncle before he died in the hospital, going through alcohol withdrawals. It scared the motherfuck out of me. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
It's so bad. They had a nurse watching him go through it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they have him hooked up to shit so that he's got his nutrients and stuff. But the nurse has to be there watching in case his fucking vitals drop.
Jesus, Jimmie was so disturbed that he had to go out and have a bunch of drinks to clear his brain of it all. That's how disturbed he was by it. He really drove him to drink. It was terrible.
Drove me to drink.
Terrible.
I understand,
Before that, completely clean as the day is long.
Never had a drink until that day.
Wild. Jimmie used to be a Mormon, actually. He saw that. He said, fuck this. There is no God. And then it was all over from there.
Denounced religion and sobriety right there.
So Gary Lineker, who's a former teammate of his, said, lots of you asking for my thoughts on Gazza's plight. I can only hope he finds peace somehow, but fear those hopes may be forlorn.
Oh.
Wow, that sounds like a eulogy.
Yeah, it sounds like a poem. Shit.
Yeah. Fear those hopes may be fucked, basically. So the Professional Footballers Association say they will continue to support Paul as they have in the past. They said they're continue to be concerned about his welfare. The union has provided assistance financially and medically, supporting the provision of rehabilitation and treatments received both in the UK and abroad.
Yeah.
The PFA recently arranged a detoxification for Paul through the Sporting Chance Clinic. You got a sporting chance, mate. You might be able to make it. Regrettably, though, Paul checked himself out and chose not to complete the program. Because he's Paul, and that's what he does. That's just Paul. They said
he had a sporting chance, and he blew
it. Sporting means you could lose, and he did.
Yeah.
They said, would you like, or we would like to stress that the support of the PFA and the Tony Adams Sporting Chance Clinic, it's the name of the place. It's in giant
Tony
letters
Adams.
on the outside. Sporting Chance remain available to Paul and any other members in similar need or circumstance. So they said, though, they're worried that he's going to wind up like George Best, who was a very great player who died in 2005 at 59 after tons of alcoholism. And this Taylor guy here, the chief executive for this organization, said, we are in regular touch with him and have been again. We go one step forward and two back at times, and this is just the situation. If we're not careful, it's going to be akin to George Best. It is unfortunate, but we try to keep going. Jesus, they're burying this guy already.
Truly.
That is fucking awesome. They said that he was appearing in An Evening with Paul Gascoigne at the Park Inn in Northampton on Thursday, and his agent said that he tried to cancel the show after he saw that Paul was drinking.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't in the condition he'd been in for the last 2 years. He was slurring a bit. I phoned the organization and said it was possibly best we didn't put him on, but he was insistent, and he had some new jokes, and he was going to be in tip-top form.
Oh.
He's got new material.
Jokes?
That's the problem.
Listen, man, you got new jokes. You're not going to be in tip-top form.
No. Here's the thing.
It's going to be tough going.
We understand. You write a new joke. You're excited. You want to tell it.
Yeah, can't wait to tell it.
You're not going to open. You're going to open with it and fuck the whole setup. That's the problem now.
You're going to bury that motherfucker in the middle.
Yeah.
And that way, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, who cares?
That's it. You see some waitresses dropping shit off. That's the time to tell it. Just get yourself comfortable. But no, this guy, see, he's already got the problem.
Going about it all wrong.
He's got the bug. He was fairly upset, but insisted he wanted to go on. When he came on stage, we sat him down, and he just started shaking. He's always a bit nervous on stage, but he started shaking uncontrollably. When asked why Gazza was upset, Baker explained that a friend had recently died in a medical facility while Paul was holding his hand, and that was haunting him.
Yikes.
Yeah. Baker said he spoke to Paul again the next day and that Paul was, quote, fairly incoherent. In other words, hadn't stopped drinking since.
Very drunk. Yeah.
Very drunk still. So after a video of the event was put on the Sun's website, they said, there was on Twitter, it said, this is not fun watching. Gazza needs help. Come on, PFA. Time to step up. And
yeah, but you can't force.
They can't. That's what I mean. What are they going to do? Tackle him?
Yeah.
Fucking drag him off by
they
the
said
leg?
the same shit about Ultimate Warrior the night that he died. Do something. Help him. What do you want us to do? Duct tape him and throw him in a facility? We can't.
Well, no. He wasn't doing. Ultimate Warrior had a heart attack. He wasn't doing it.
Right. But he looked
just
the
a
way he
lifetime
did.
of-
He
it
looked
was
like
just-
shit.
Yeah, but that was just no. It was just a lifetime.
It was very
of-
evident his heart was going to fucking explode soon. He looked like shit.
Nobody said it that night, though. They all said he looked great that night.
Right, that's my point. No, they should have maybe.
Yeah, I don't. He looked fine. He wasn't slurring or shaking or.
I suppose, but
No one had
Really?
seen
You
him
don't
in
think-
25 years, so I mean, he looked
so bad.
he looked 55 as opposed to
Yeah,
30.
that's true.
So I mean, that's if you want to say
I
that's
guess
bad, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he just took the makeup off and I was like, oh no.
You ever see anybody you knew in high school and see them now? You go, Jesus, you look terrible compared to what you last time I saw you. You look like you're gonna die. Watch
We're gonna
out!
duct tape you and put you in a facility.
Yeah, we gotta take you to a facility.
He was hip hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Imagine if somebody saw you, they go, "Oh my God, where'd your hair go?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Get Jimmie in a facility. All his hair fell out. He's drinking too much."
Yeah, I guess anytime you're older, I guess that's the time.
Yeah, you look
that's what you
awful.
want to do to people.
We all look terrible as we age.
Force them to get some help.
Get some help, mate. Look at you aging. You look terrible.
You look like shit.
You look like shit. I mean, you look like rehab bad, like facility bad.
Ultimate Warrior did. He
Terry
looked
Cloth
so
Robe
bad.
But all the wrestlers look bad when they're older.
Messy hair, terry cloths, and some slip-on, some sliders. Man, go sit on a patio for a while.
He's looked weird always too. I mean, he's a weird looking guy
Paul?
without the makeup.
Yeah, the old warrior. Yeah.
Without the makeup, he's always a weird looking guy. So
Yeah.
I
He
feel
had a
like
bad
we're
face.
just used to seeing that makeup on him. When he comes out,
His skin was, you could see veins, man. He looked so bad.
The other thing too is he's lived in Arizona since like
Yeah.
fucking 1990, and he loves the sun. So that's a guy that, I mean, his skin was just.
It was not good.
No, just
There's
too much
a lot
sun.
of carcinoma, it looked like.
Too much sun and HGH in there, boy. It's a lot when that runs through your veins. That activates something.
Can't blend those together.
No, the rays, the ultraviolet, it activates some other shit. It's not good. So they went on to say, we are all responsible for how we live our lives, but that doesn't mean we can't step in and help. There is always a right time to start doing something. And with what we've seen from Gazza, that time has come for football. They need to help him, basically.
Yeah.
The agent said he hadn't witnessed Gazza drink in 2 years. He said, I swear to you, I have never seen Paul drink in all the time I've known him until very, very recently. He has definitely been clean for most of the last 2 years, absolutely for definite. For definite.
What?
Never heard that. That's British
Is that
for
how the
sure.
British say it? Yeah.
For definite. He has made huge, massive efforts to get his life on track, and it's just gone a bit wrong at the moment. I would say, yeah. So February 6, 2013, now the English team is stepping up to help him as well.
Really?
They're saying, yeah, they were distressed by the sight of him, and so they were going to help him, and they're going to. All of his friends from the English team are trying to get him into rehab, is what they're doing here. They said that, he's a mess. We saw the video of him. That's old school Gazza type of deal.
Yeah.
And the captain of the English team said, "We've made it clear we are able to help if needed. I am very happy the players have made the gesture because I'm sure Paul's having the love of the current England team could be a factor in aiding his recovery because the English team was doing well."
Yeah.
So he might want to get in on the publicity of the whole thing, and he'll go to rehab for that. So yeah, they all say they'll help him out. They said, like everyone else who has marveled at his talent, it is sad to hear he is not in a good way and having to take these drastic measures to try and get his life back into some sort of order. All I can hope is that he recovers well and the friends he has out there rally together and give him the help he needs. Yeah, but he has to want to do that.
Sure.
Yeah, they said so. He had, I guess, they said sometimes being a friend might have to mean telling people things they don't want to hear and telling them not to do things they want to do. Hopefully he'll come out the other side a fitter and a stronger person. So I guess he's going to rehab again now. So the trip was organized to the treatment center, organized by a former cricketer named Ronnie Irani. He's like from Iran, Irani.
With an I.
With an I, yeah. Ronnie Irani. He said, "I called British Airways and explained the situation, that we had to get him out to Phoenix to get some help." So he said he needs it, and if not, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like Arizona?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Arizona. That's where he keeps going.
I had no idea there was that many rehabs there.
There's a ton. Remember how many of our athletes? Remember Hollywood Henderson getting crack delivered to it? That was the best.
There's also, but I've heard of a lot of celebrities going from L.A. across the desert and getting pulled over on their way to rehab in Arizona. But I guess I didn't put together that it's in the actual metropolitan area. I heard of the Cottonwood one. I've heard of that one.
He went to that one too. Yeah.
There's one in Sedona, I think.
Yeah, there's one somewhere on like Camelback or Lincoln or somewhere in that area.
Over there?
So, yeah,
really?
There's somewhere in there. That's where
I could see one up in the fucking mountains.
That's where Hollywood Henderson was.
Really?
That one on Camelback
Cottonwood?
or something. I don't remember.
That one.
Yeah, he was in there. That's where he was getting crack brought
Good for
to him.
him.
Paul said, quote, "There are a lot of people who have got everything, but inside they don't share enough. There needs to be more done, especially with the guys. It's a macho thing. They think, nah, I'm doing this because no one will like me. Or I'm not doing this because no one will like me. I'm not going to rehab because no one will like me." So February 11, 2013, his therapist says there's no fears for him. He's placed in intensive care in the United States. So don't worry about him. He's fine.
Okay.
So he's in Arizona, and he's being treated, and he's totally good. He said, "The hospital has reassured me that he's up and about and walking." I would hope so. He hasn't been in like a horrible car accident. He was just drunk. Yeah. How drunk was he? He flew all the way to Arizona from England. He's in the hospital. At some point, you probably could walk around.
It's a good place to dry out. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. He said, though, Paul has experienced severe complications with his detoxification. This is not unusual for someone who has been drinking as heavily as he. Paul was transferred from the U.S. clinic Cottonwood to a local hospital to be monitored so as to be completely satisfied. Yeah. There are no
Cottonwood? Oh, God.
No, they probably sent him to Phoenix to a Scottsdale or something. Yeah.
Not to fucking Verde Valley.
Brought him like the Mayo Clinic or some shit, I'm sure. Up there.
The hospital there's got to be 2 trailers welded together.
The ambulance is drawn by horses up there, probably. I don't think it's... No.
It's just some guy with like a fucking quad or something.
It's the pickup truck people from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's who it is. That's
or a tractor with hay on the back.
Yeah. Take you to Wichita. That's how it works. So they said there are no fears for his life. We will aim to keep everyone concerned updated on a regular basis. They say that he could be discharged from the hospital in the next day or 2. He was put in intensive care where they're monitoring him, but they said it wasn't a life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
And, he should be out of the hospital in the next couple days. They said that there is a The treatment director at the Providence Project Rehab Facility, where he had been previously, said there was a slight overreaction to the news that he was placed in intensive care. They said, I wouldn't have seen it as a breakdown in his recovery, and in fact, sometimes this process is quite normal in the early stages of detox from alcohol.
Sure.
It's to monitor him, that's all.
Yeah.
They said, I was with Paul on the Monday that he flew to Arizona, and his health was very poor. He was physically dependent on alcohol, and the detox procedure can be quite complex. We're talking about...
Holy fuck, that man went through that on an airplane.
Yes. Or he drank on the airplane.
Oh, you have to, right?
Why? I mean, why would you you're going to go to the hospital. I guess you'd want to go in and get your money's worth.
You can't
know
put
what I mean?
flight attendants through that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Him shaking and acting all weird. I think it's just...
Yeah.
Give him a steady stream of Johnny Walker Black. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Keep him even.
Yeah, they said everybody can experience withdrawal symptoms, but hallucinations, shaking, sweating, insomnia, anxiety, paranoia, and inability to process any food, it heightens these sort of sensitivities.
Good Lord.
So they said that he's been experiencing lots of these types of symptoms. They said in very early days, I think it's important to say that rehab is not actually the cure or the answer, but the first step in recovering. He's taken this first step quite a few times.
Yeah.
They also said, his agent said that the decision to go abroad was very much based upon some of the media frenzy in the UK.
Okay. So
no one over here cares. You can go to Arizona and be like, I'm Paul Gascoigne, and they'd be like, whatever, Paul, I don't know who the fuck that is. Anyway, you got a cigarette? Like, they don't fucking care. Nice robe. Got a smoke?
It'll be 11:12. Thank you.
Don't give a shit. Yep. It would have been very difficult for Paul to continue with his treatment over here because of lack of privacy. Paul's trip was funded by some of his celebrity friends, including Ronnie Irani and Chris Evans, the broadcaster Chris Evans. Okay, I don't know who that is. So, yeah, people are tweeting about him and everything else. So apparently that's February. By August, he's out because by August, he's being fined £1,000 for assaulting a railway security guard and being drunk and disorderly.
Oh, it didn't work?
This happened on the 4th of July. So...
Oh, my.
Sometime between detoxification in February and the 4th of July, he was drunk and fucking assaulting a security guard.
Yeah, on the train.
For the train. He appeared before a magistrate and admitted attacking a guy named Jack Sherrington at the Hertfordshire Towns railway station on the 4th of July. Yep, see, I got my own fireworks, mate.
Well, they don't shoot fireworks over there.
Well, he spent so much time in Phoenix. He's like, I get all amped up on the 4th, mate. I got to set something off. And he's just real like,
have a spot of tea and some black cats.
He's got to. Yeah, he's so used to it by now. The assault charges relating to his wife were withdrawn. So he and his wife were charged with assault. Let's get him, babe.
The two of us.
Apparently
Holy.
So. Yeah, I guess this was weeks after he left rehab in the U.S., and he was there. He was traveling from Newcastle to London's King Cross after visiting his sick father, but got off the train at Stevenage, and the court said that the security guard tried to come to Paul's aid after he noticed him staggering toward the rail tracks.
Oh, my God.
He was drunkenly staggering in front of a train.
Yeah.
And this guy said, "Oi, mate." He fucking turned his shoulders the other direction. Wow.
Redirect Mr. Magoo, and Mr. Magoo takes a swing at you?
Well, no, they tried, I guess other staff, they tried to help him by putting him in a wheelchair. Why don't you sit down? And because he was stumbling, and he became abusive, according to Sherrington here, and according to Paul, because he admitted it. She said that, I guess they said that Paul grabbed a hold of Mr. Sherrington in the neck area and then assaulted him in an assault which lasted a few seconds. He didn't suffer any injuries, and they say that he's going to pay £100 compensation to the guy.
Okay.
The lawyer for Paul said that this all happened. He consumed only a small amount of alcohol.
Yeah.
Staggering.
A little bit.
Together, we've drank more than a small amount of alcohol, and we still didn't stagger into a fucking railway track.
I certainly fell asleep.
We fell asleep, not in front of a train, I might add.
No.
So the lawyer said this happened, it was due to a combination of stress caused by worry for his father. So it's stress. This is what does this. And acute pain from a hip operation 6 weeks previously. Jesus. So when you're sad and in pain, you can't walk and you stumble in front of trains. That makes sense. They said that he had not drunk alcohol for a significant period of time, and so the effects were stronger than would have otherwise been. That's true. Yeah. But it's still not a small amount.
No.
So the court heard from his ex-wife Cheryl and his children. They were called to the station, and his 17-year-old son became distressed. They said at that point. I don't know what that means. So they said he was originally, but I think it's different though here. They said that he was originally charged with 2 counts of assault, one involving his ex-wife, but that charge was dropped. Okay. So they also heard he was receiving 1-to-1 treatment for his alcoholism, and he said he was remorseful. So he said that, according to his lawyer, he wanted to apologize publicly for his actions that evening. He now wishes to be left alone to carry on with his recovery. So the security guard said he fully accepted Paul's apology, and in a statement said, in differing ways, this has not been easy for either of us, and I sincerely hope he gets the help that he needs in the future. I now consider this matter closed. So, wash that away. Now, January 27th, 2014, he is undergoing an extensive rehabilitation program.
Oh?
Yes, he has checked into a 6,000 a month clinic in Southampton, marking the 7th time he's entered rehab. Lucky 7.
Yeah.
This should work, right? What do we get? What everybody right now, take your bets. Does this hold or what? Lucky 7? Is it going to stick? What do you think here?
It's too early.
I think you got to hit double digits before you go, Jesus. Once you see another column open up, you go, God damn, that many, huh? Okay. So they said that it was over a week left on the program, and they hoped the treatment would be the last he will ever have to experience. Yep, a friend said, we've been here so many times with Paul, but at least he's trying to get better. The fact that he's gone into a clinic is encouraging.
Sure. He
has the love and support of so many people, but only he can sort his life out and get well again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, he's a mess. He said at one point, at least I know if I did pass away through it, I wouldn't be in this pain all the time. Jesus Christ.
It's too bad.
I just think sometimes fucking hell just go away, or drink or me go away, and that means a wooden box and 6 nails. But I'll keep on trying, and I'll try my best till I actually get this. I've been lucky twice. I hope I don't die through it, but I won't get any sympathy because, well, I was warned. So, yeah, that makes sense. So August 21st, 2014, he is playing soccer again.
Really?
Yes, he signs on for a Sunday League Division 4 team. I don't know what the fuck that is. It sounds like old guys fucking around.
Division 4 sounds way down the list, though.
Way down. Yeah, absolutely. Sunday League also sounds like...
Just on Sunday.
Yeah, just on Sundays. This is a bunch of guys who are sore at work Monday and Tuesday is what this is.
We got 6 days to recover till our next outing.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. So he's going to do that. He's going to make his debut against either Rentec Repairs or ARC Cleaning. Yes.
Business teams.
That's the look on your face was like you had to register that for a minute. Like, what the fuck?
Like the bail bonds team in Bad News Bears.
Yeah, exactly. The manager of the Abbey team, Chris Foster, who's a taxi driver, said this.
Boy.
I've offered to pick him up. He said he asked Gascoigne to sign after driving him to a shop to buy him cigarettes. So Paul got a taxi to go get cigarettes, and this guy was like, "We got a team, eh? You want to sign up?" And he did.
We got an opening.
That is fucking amazing. He said, if you're still playing at 51, then I could still play at 47.
Sure.
And he said, I brought the forms to complete. And he said, quote, what's that for? I said, are you going to sign on for me? And he said, oh, go on then. He said, who's it for? I said, Abbey FC. And he said, okay then, mate, it's a deal. You give me my $8 change back for the cigarettes that he got, because he said they got to get him cigarettes, and I'll sign for you. And that was it.
You got him for his change?
You got him for the favor of taking him, or the favor of going in and grabbing him some smokes, basically. So he said that his involvement will depend on his fitness, and said that he will, quote, pop a little letter through his door, and he rings me if and when. So they said, yes, that he has registered and could play immediately. He's ready to go. So that was August 21st. August 24th, he's believed to have been taken to the hospital again by then. So
3 days later.
He doesn't make it to Sunday, is what the problem is.
Yeah. 72 hours.
It doesn't happen.
He's already in the hospital.
He's believed to have been taken to the hospital after being found drunk outside his home again.
What do you think it is?
He's a fucking alcoholic.
There's no way to get around it, right?
No, he's one of those people. It's so fucking sad because people that drink or do drugs and that have a problem with that shit and obviously have this fucking disease weighing on them and everything.
Yeah.
You'll see, you could be clean. You could be doing wonderful for 10 fucking years. You've done everything right every day, and you can fucking destroy it in 2 seconds. Like, that is
and
wild.
Right back to fucking reverted right back into like as hard as you were ever in it.
Crazy. It's so
right
fucking
now.
Crazy. That I feel terrible for people who can't not monitor that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can have a couple of drinks one day and have a drink for a month.
I can drink as much as the next guy. I can drink all fucking night. And I can do that for a week straight. And then I haven't drank since last year.
You could not do that. You could when you were 20 years ago.
I don't know that I've done it in a long time.
Bro, we had three martinis and you fucking slept half the night.
But I'm saying I could sit and drink beers all fucking day. I'm not talking about hard booze.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking. I mean, I've drank, the last time I drank tequila all night. And then I woke up and I haven't drank since then.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's where I'm at. I can drink and drink and drink and then
feel bad.
Or I can not at all. And I don't know. I feel so bad for people that can't do that.
I know that they have to.
And then there's the other side of the coin too, where I can go out and have 2 drinks and stop. And there's there's a million people that can't do that.
That's me. I haven't that night that we drank those 3 martinis. That was the most I drank in over 20 years.
Wow. Well, I got to tell you too, those were the strongest martinis I've ever had.
They were. We went to the restaurant by my house. They know us there. The bartender knows us, and they weigh those fucking things down. It was
boy, are they heavy.
We had like a bottle of vodka between us. It felt like they were
a lot of Belvedere,
a lot of Grey Goose in there. Yeah, that was
Goose, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was Goose. Yeah, that was a
very
tough
heavy
night
drink
for us.
But that's But I can do that. Have 2 or 3 and quit. But even if it was 2 or 3 beers, whatever the drink is, I can have a couple and quit. And there's so many people that literally, if they have 2, they're having 20.
I feel terrible. I know. I don't get it. I feel bad. Wow. And then there's the people like my dad and that generation who just get home and just kind of have a beer in their hand.
Yeah. Just always have one
through
just
the evening.
Yeah,
but they're not ever drunk because they have 3 beers over a 5-hour period, but they're always attached to their hand, that type of thing.
Right.
So there's different types of drinkers, and Paul is the drink it till it's gone now type of drinker. So paramedics and police were called to his rented apartment, and they found him slumped on the ground holding a bottle of vodka.
Still holding it.
Oh, that is the saddest.
That's an ugly drunk.
That's just fucking sad, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. He was in the process of being evicted by his landlord.
Jesus Christ.
From the property because his neighbors kept complaining about his noise all the time.
Yikes. Not even because he can't afford it.
No, he's a mess.
He's just a nuisance, yeah.
So he's being treated at a hospital. A friend told the Daily Mirror, it's very sad, but the reality is Paul has been drinking for the past few weeks, and once that happens, things will only end one way. Today, things came to a head. He has had a lot on his plate, and he's still in the process of trying to find somewhere to live. His landlord has given him 10 days to get out of the flat, and it was weighing on his mind. Well, you could either pack or you could drink till you're fucking slumped out in front of the place. That's not going to get you a new place, by the way.
Somebody gives you 10 days to get out. It's going to take you that long to get out, generally, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. This is a fucking Dude, this is to have that thought process of I have got to do adult things for my life. Fuck it, I'm just going to drink myself into oblivion.
I'll do it tomorrow? Wow.
I don't understand it. So, yeah, obviously things became too much for him in the past couple of days, and he's turned back to the bottle. So the ambulance came for him and everything. It's a fucking mess. So that's time number, 8, 9?
That's 8.
That's 8. Wow.
Is he in rehab or just the hospital?
He's in the hospital right now, but that's going to be rehab after that, I'm sure.
It's got to be.
So, yeah, I mean, you can't just let him go. Okay, you're fine, Paul. We send him out there. You're all sobered up now. August 26, 2014, the headline here in the Evening Standard is "Nowhere for Gazza to Hide His Living Hell." So they say, this is right from the article, the photographs of a gaunt, distressed Paul Gascoigne staggering through the streets, pursued by camera lenses and bystanders armed with iPhones, reminded me of a line from an old Billy Connolly interview. Oh, so we know Billy Connolly, the
comedian. Oh no!
Yep, the comedian said his definition of hell was to be famous without enough money to build a wall. Yep,
genius. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you're fucking famous, you better have enough money to protect yourself or insulate yourself, or else your life's going to suck.
Yeah.
That's what all these people like, all the people like with Gypsy Rose and shit. I'm like, she is going to get eaten the fuck alive out there because she doesn't have money. She's got millions of Instagram followers, half of whom are there to fuck with her.
Yeah.
Well,
and she doesn't have a wall.
It makes sense. But
and with that, even if she's getting money, she's got no wall. She's in a fishbowl with money. If you don't have that, oh boy.
Every reality show idiot is signing up for that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I'd like to be famous, but without the money to insulate myself from the inconveniences of that fame.
Fishbowl with no money.
Ridiculous.
Yikes.
So that's where Gazza is now. He is broke and not just at the mercy of his various addictions, but the public too, as his broken life is paraded for all to see. Yeah. Some say this might shock him back to health. They think he can be shamed into coming off the drink. I think he'll be shamed into drinking more. That's how his brain works.
Yeah.
Bad things make him...
Stress requires alcohol. Yeah.
He doesn't go, fuck that, I'll do... That's not him. He goes, okay, glug, glug, glug.
Mm-hmm.
That's his thing there. It's not that simple. Gascoigne has obsessive-compulsive disorder. He's bulimic and has Tourette's, anxiety, and attention deficit issues.
Bulimic?
Bulimic for a while, too, because he's fat. Remember how he was always saying how fat he was and always having to lose weight all the time?
But then, like, how do you keep alcohol in you to keep the shakes away if you're throwing, you know what I mean? Like, God, that's a fucked way to live.
Maybe he's bulimic when he's not drinking, possibly, to keep his weight down, because a lot of times, too, alcoholics and drug addicts, when they stop doing what they're doing, they eat a fuckload and they get fat immediately because it's their body needs to replace all that sugar and shit with something, I think. So
and empty calories.
And so they just eat and eat and eat. And people go, well, it's better you're eating than drinking.
Yeah.
Fine. And then you get huge and fat. So maybe that's what happened here.
Then you get Elvis on a toilet.
Exactly. Yeah. But except he wasn't quitting anything. He
wasn't going to stop.
That was just him.
He's just getting started.
In the midst of his fun is what that was. Wow. And the bottle is just one bungled attempt to obliterate his myriad mental troubles. This guy that's what he is. He's soccer Elvis.
Yeah.
That's exactly who he is. Football kept him in check for a time. Now there's nothing to give his life structure. Gascoigne only has a chance of recovering when he promises to help himself, but that's an extraordinarily difficult pledge for himself to keep.
Sure.
So, here we go. August 26, 2014. This is him now giving a thumbs up. There's a picture of him with a thumbs up, and it says, thumbs up to say Gazza's on the mend.
Yeah, because 2013 is possibly the worst year anybody's ever had in their lives.
Here he is now.
Oh, dear Christ.
He looks like an old woman.
He looks like the nosy woman in every bad neighborhood.
Yeah, he really does.
Cargo shorts that are like ill-fitting anyway, and they look worse on him somehow.
It looks like his pockets are full of change. Like all of the cargo short pockets are full.
His skin is as baggy as his shorts.
Yeah, he's got baggy skin. He's got that bad old man. Okay, he's got that bad old man torso where his chest is concaved and his gut is hanging out.
Yeah.
So he's got but you see that on like an 80-year-old man.
Right.
He's 47 here.
That man's 47.
47.
I look great.
Well, I feel terrific right now.
I look fucking amazing.
He could be my father in this picture. Oh, we're almost the same age. That's disturbing.
Who had you very old, and you're very concerned about him every day.
Yeah, he waited till he was like 40, hooked up with a younger woman, and now, it's going to be, I don't know if he's going to make it to graduation.
Holy shit.
So they said that he seems stronger and healthier than he did last week. He's looking good. And so maybe this
Imagine how bad he looked.
That's looking good for him.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Wow. March 11th, 2015, he told the court, now he's in court, and he said that he was scared to speak to anybody by phone during the 10 years his voicemail was hacked by the Mirror.
Okay.
Wow. That's he said the journalists ruined his life. He said had he known, he said he had known his phone had been hacked, but no one believed him, and he described the experience as horrendous and blamed his alcoholism on it. Paul.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen, Paul.
You were drunk before that.
It didn't help, but you were in rehab like 6 times before that happened. So
yeah.
Give me
Remember
a
when you were
fucking break.
stowing fish in friends' cars?
That's what I mean.
That was before the hacking.
Yeah, you were like, training an ostrich to run around to fucking well before the hacking. So, but not that they should hack him. I'm not saying that.
No. But don't blame that for that. One has nothing to do with the other.
Exactly. So he's claiming in court that 18 of their articles that were written were to have been the product of illegal activity.
Okay.
He told the court that he was disgusted. He would often change his phone number several times a month because he knew his phone was being hacked. Uh-huh. But his family didn't believe him, and he told his therapist, and his therapist told him he was paranoid and going through a mental disorder. Yeah. Because they're like, you're not being hacked. He thinks he's being hacked. He said, I knew I was being hacked by the Mirror. This continued for ages. Phone calls to my father and family were getting blocked, so I changed my mobile. It happened again, so I kept on changing my mobile 5 or 6 times a month. Yeah. He said it was so scary. I was scared to speak to anyone, my parents, my family, and kids. It was just horrendous, and people can't understand why I became an alcoholic. Paul!
No, Paul.
Paul!
We all got problems, Paul.
This is part 4, Paul.
Yeah.
So, where the other 3 fucking parts...
I didn't hear anything about
or pre-hacking. Yeah, what the fuck, man? That's what I'm saying. You had 3 parts of fuckery before any hacking happened. So come on, Paul. This is crazy.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles...
A big fraud. A multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
That's a guy that can't handle fame. You know what I mean?
No. He
just
can
can't
when
handle
everyone
people.
loves him.
Yeah. He can't handle a negative word about him.
Well, the problem is if you're the guy who brings Trout in and does all that crazy shit, at some point when you're not the most popular, best football player anymore, that shit isn't cute anymore.
No, it's
People don't go, oh, that's just Gazza. That's how he is, mate. They go, oh, that's sad. Look at him. His chest is all concave, and he's got a big, weird gut, and he looks 70, and he's 47. This isn't good.
A drunk slouched in a stairwell with a bottle of vodka isn't funny.
That's not funny. A drunk partying with all his friends, bringing Trouts in. Look at him. He was shit-faced, and he came. That's fun.
The man's wearing galoshes, you guys.
Yep. Fun turns to sad very quickly.
It does.
In a life like that. So he said that I've waited 15 years to be sat here, so I am disgusted, really. I would like to trade my mobile phone in for a coffin because these guys have ruined my life. I have no life. Okay. And he said constant media pressure has made it very difficult for him to lead a normal and private life that has led to his family not being as close as they once were. He suffered alcohol dependency over a number of years and even drug dependency as well. He said that between 2000 and 2006, he had wrongly accused people close to him, such as his stepdaughter Bianca, of going to the newspapers with stories about him. He said, I became obsessed about being monitored. I felt that I was being watched or listened to all the time for years, and the pressure on me because of that was more than I think any sane person could bear. Wow. That is interesting, man. He brought other people they've hacked in to describe what the paper's done to them as well, to make it like this isn't just Paul who's bitching. It fucks everybody up, too. And they said the Mirror was the worst culprit as far as they were concerned. The Mirror wrote the dirtiest stories, and a lot of personal attacks, they said. So they said, this is one of the witnesses. I feel like the people who worked at the paper were sadistic, and their mission was to destroy people's lives. 2015 here, a documentary is released about him. It's got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb also. It's called Gascoigne, The Man, the Legend, in His Own Words. And full-length theatrical documentary on the life of Paul Gascoigne, one of the most naturally gifted footballers of all time, delving deep into his psyche, vulnerabilities, fears, and triumphs.
Yeah.
And that is directed by Jane Preston. And I think it's on Prime right now. You can watch it if you want to.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah. Nothing short of interesting. He's going to be interesting, if nothing else.
At that point, too, in his life, that's a bad time to do a documentary. That's a rise and fall and, no redemption. You want the redemption part, and there's none to be had at that time.
There's none. Well, every time he starts redeeming, then it crashes very quickly. Yeah. I mean, how many times has this happened? So May 21st, 2015, the damages are doled out, or, they awarded, I should say, for the phone hack, because they have to pay out a bunch of money. Damages totaling £1.25 million awarded to 8 people whose phones were hacked by the Mirror journalists here. Actress Sadie Frost had the most. She got $260,000 or pounds. Paul Gascoigne got £188,250 out of the Mirror.
That's a good way to start over, I guess.
Not bad. Soap stars Shane Ritchie, Shabna Galati, and Lucy Benjamin also received payouts. And they said that it's so serious and prolonged. The justice added the length, degree, and frequency of all this conduct explains why the sums I have awarded are so much greater than historical awards. People whose private voicemail messages were hacked so often and for so long had a very significant part of their personal lives exposed, then reported on, are entitled to significant compensation. So it's $155,000 to a Richie here, Mr. Richie. I don't know who Richie is. He played Alfie Moon in EastEnders.
Oh.
If you're English, you probably know who he is. If you're us, you're going, I don't know who the fuck that is.
I wonder if they were hacking it by like doing that, calling the number and then getting the voicemail and then putting in the code. Somehow they got their fucking voicemail code and then were able to play the money.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I mean, this is their business, so they're going to invest money in doing this. This is like, not just some journalist going, let me guess his code, 0472. Like, it's
trying to figure out his fucking PIN code.
Yeah, trying to figure something out here. So another one, Lucy Benjamin there, referred to in court here by Lucy Taggart. She received $157,000. She played Lisa Fowler in EastEnders. So they just attacked the whole EastEnder cast, it seems like here. Other people here, Coronation Street's Sunita Allahan was given £117,500, and a bunch of other people I've never heard of as well were given less than that.
Fascinating how little that shit translates to America.
It does not cross over whatsoever to that shit at all. So they said there's other people too. They're told they have to set aside money for other damages for other cases, and it's a lot, man. Paul was described by his lawyer as being delighted with the result here. They said that he was scared to talk to anybody. It's ruined his life, and now he can, have a couple of bucks anyway to start over.
That's not forever money.
It's not forever money, but maybe it's, start over a bit money. Unfortunately, I hope it's not drinking money. That's what I hope it's not here. October 7th, 2015, he is charged, Paul is, in court.
Oh, boy.
With harassing his ex-girlfriend with abusive messages. His ex-girlfriend, Amanda Thomas, he is accused of harassing her with tweets, text messages, and telephone calls over a 2-week period in March.
Tweets also?
Even tweets. And this is over in March. That's when the awards were being doled out.
Yeah.
So while he's being given a bunch of money, he's then texting this girl some shit here.
Jesus.
He's also charged with harassing Andy Stone, who was reportedly a photographer during the same period.
Okay.
I don't know why he's doing this at all, but a spokesman of his declined to comment. Now, October 8th, 2016.
Oh, boy.
Paul Gascoigne squeezes a fan's breast after she asks for a photo. This is the first time he's been seen out since like his drunken meltdown here.
Yeah.
And he had that evening with Gazza shit, so people haven't really seen him out. So some woman said, "Oh, hi, will you take a picture with me? My friend will take this picture." So he, with his right hand, grabbed her tit while he put his left arm. I have the picture. You can see it.
Let me see this.
It's fucking wild. Here, check it out.
How big is the grab? Oh, that's a full grab. Jesus
it's not just
Christ,
a little
man.
bit. He is he's grabbing this woman's entire tit.
He's holding her tit better than her bra is.
Yeah, and then watch this. This is the funny one. This one cracked me up. Look at this one.
He looks right at it.
He's looking at it like he's holding a baby, like it's a newborn baby that he's holding. People gaze into a newborn baby's eyes. He's holding the tit and looking down at it, like he's like, well, that's a nice.
I do
tit
give
right
him
there.
credit. He is certainly holding it.
He's holding it like it's a baby. Like it
he
could
is
fall
cradling it. Yeah,
it could fall and crack its skull. Like that's how he's holding it. His tits are in danger. They're in danger.
Titties. And she's got a lot of titty.
There's a lot. Yeah. She's not a small woman, and she's got a lot of tits, and he is
holding the whole thing.
He is a fucking mess here. By the way, that evening with Gazza mess that he was drunk and had to pull out of, those were £65 per ticket prices.
Jesus.
Those people paid. So those people paid fucking money.
Top dollar to see him.
Yeah, that's a lot. And other people, there was another event that he got drunk and didn't make at the Martin Hotel and Country Club that had people who paid up to £2,000 to meet him. And
imagine that.
Yep, they said that he wouldn't be arriving because he started shaking and then ran away, is what the promoter said.
Whoo-wee, 2,000 more than $1. You know what I mean? 2,000 things that are worth more than $1. People paid that to see you.
To see him. At this point, too, it's coming out that what his drinking was about, like how much he was drinking at a time.
Yeah.
He was drinking 2 liters of gin and like 15 cans of Stella per day.
Yikes.
15 cans of Stella is a lot on its own.
That's too much.
That's way too much. But then 2 liters of booze on top of it is
2
too much.
liters of gin a day will kill you anyway.
Yeah, and then add the Stella just seems like that's what he's got like on the counter all the time drinking.
yeah.
If he's watching TV, that's on a coaster on the coffee table. And then he'll be pounding the gin, but the Stella's always going.
Yeah.
Like,
I dated a girl whose dad drank wine like that, like beer, and then he would just shoot tequila all night.
Oh, my God. That's called an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's
A
like
severe
gross
alcoholic,
gut, right?
yeah,
Can you imagine
yeah.
the acidity in there? Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ. What the hell? What were his shits like?
Oh, the man hasn't digested
They had to
a decent
hurt.
meal in 3 weeks.
He hasn't been able to digest a decent meal in 6 weeks.
It's got to be, right? You can't do that.
You can't do that. That's why you have to go to the hospital after a while, because that just
And tequila shots all night.
During this, he would be taking up to 30 Valiums a day in addition to that.
There you go. There's the slurring.
Well, here all comes the other part. Here comes the shaking.
Oh, boy.
And injecting cocaine.
Get out.
That's a lot to put in your body in a day.
Shooting coke.
That's why you go to fucking
Rehab.
detox and rehab and the hospital first, because
That's a lot of substances.
your body is running on not what it should be running on.
You can't treat that because you can't treat all that at once.
Fucking
That's so many things to treat.
It's a mess. It's absolutely a fucking mess. That's what I mean. That's multiple drug addictions.
Yeah.
And Valium and Coke are different addictions. Like,
Yes.
you can't just say that's not an umbrella you throw over
No,
that
no,
whole
no,
thing. Those are
no.
very different. And then all of that booze is like his baseline. That's
Jesus
just
Christ.
that's just to keep him, level. And then he's doing the drugs too. So that's
Ooh.
wow. That's why he's slumped over and shit all the time.
How's
Jesus.
that motherfucker alive?
And he's not a big guy we talked about
No.
either. It's not like he's, an offensive lineman who's doing this. This is a small man.
That's why he looks 65 at 47.
Yeah. Imagine doing that once. Just one day you do that in.
Give me that for a week. I guarantee I die.
Oh, I'll be dead. I'd absolutely be dead in 3 days if I had to do
Guarantee
that.
it. Yeah.
I think you have to build your way up to that though. That's not
Yeah.
He didn't just go, you know what I'll have today, and then lay out his thing like that.
Even if you let me wean up to that,
It would take a while. It would take me so
It'd kill
long
me.
to wean
Yeah.
up to that. I'm not a drinker like that. I can't drink like that. I just
Yeah.
can't. I'll go
It's just
to
a lot
sleep.
of volume.
I
Yeah.
can't do it. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's too much volume. I can't drink anything but water in that kind of volume. It's
Yeah.
tough. So they talked about his evening with Gazza stage shows were marred by controversy after controversy, him running away, people paying money. In September of this year, he admitted to racially abusing a black bouncer during one of the events as well.
Oh, my God.
For some reason. This is fucking terrible. Yeah, he humiliated a man named Earl Rowe, who had been assigned to protect him during the show, saying, quote, "Can you smile, please, because I can't see you."
Okay.
He's even a hack. Yeah. It's one thing to be racist, but people are racist, but don't be a hack too on top of it. Jesus Christ. He had to pay $1,000 fine and hand over $1,000 in compensation at that point as well. Then you got the tit grabber over here.
Oh, boy.
October 29th, 2015, his ex-girlfriend now has a restraining order against him. He's admitted to harassing her as well. He also admitted to assaulting a photographer named Stephen Shepard and damaging his 200-pound sunglasses as well, or regular glasses, not sunglasses. Punched him in the face, or knocked him off his face, or whatever. So the district judge sentenced him to a community order for 12 months and issued a restraining order for 2 years, prohibiting him from contacting his ex-girlfriend or posting about her on social media.
Oh,
keep her name out your mouth, motherfucker, is what the judge said. Not happening.
Yeah.
So I guess they had the relationship, and then it ended at the end of the last year, and she started seeing another man named Andrew Stone, who works with the photographer who he assaulted too. So
Andrew's
it's all
about to get his
connected.
ass kicked. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was on March 16th. I guess Paul called this woman, his ex-girlfriend, at a post office shop where she worked, and she told him not to contact her again. So he went on to send her text messages, a series of abusive tweets, and all sorts of other shit in the following days.
Tweeting at her.
The prosecutor said as a result of those tweets, it encouraged other persons using
Right.
Twitter, which led to further harassment of her. And she called him and asked him to stop, and they said he didn't. It was only worse. So the next day, he called her back and said, quote, "I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to hammer you. I'm going to come into the post office tomorrow." So the next day, he did show up.
Oh, my
at the
God.
post office, quote, causing a scene and shouting her name.
Good Lord.
He then sent a further tweet saying, quote, "If they do not sack the cow, I'm going to sue the post office.
Okay.
Fire
the woman,
my ex-girlfriend, or I'm
Sack
going to
the
sue the
cow.
post office. Sack the cow." That's
What
a British way of saying that.
He is a menace already. This guy
yeah.
used to be a big deal.
That's what I mean. Think about what a giant sports star this is. Put
Right.
it into American terms. I'm trying to do. This would be, he's a huge star. Ken Griffey Jr. is doing this. Wouldn't you be like,
Right.
why are you doing this, Ken Griffey Jr.?
Jr.'s at the post office
fuck are you
calling his
doing?
wife a
Yeah.
cow. His
Their
girlfriend. Not even a
careers
wife.
ended about the same time, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of someone like that. Was that famous,
Yeah.
I guess? It'd be weird for Ken Griffey
It's
Jr. to do
fucking
this.
crazy.
Like, why, Ken Griffey Jr.? Why?
Ken, you were supposed to. I mean, I get the junior part, but
Yeah, we know you're a junior, but
he should be nicer.
Jesus Christ, you have everything, Ken. So she made a complaint to the police, and they arrested him for it. He also admitted assaulting Mr. Shepard and a charge of criminal damage. The court heard the photographer was taking pictures of him as he signed autographs and posed for pictures with fans at a cafe on June 16th. He confronted Mr. Shepard and demanded Mr. Shepard hand over his camera's memory card. The altercation resulted in a 1-inch graze to Mr. Shepard's head and damage to his prescription glasses. Yeah. In defense, his defense attorney told the court his client had been in a relationship with Miss Thomas dating back 5 years, but the paparazzi and photographers came in contact with him, and that's when it went downhill. And yeah, they
That is
also
a fascinating job too, because if you went and were taking pictures of a guy, you know what I mean. You're a fucking scumbag. If you're just following somebody around, you're a creep. But this guy, just because he has a camera and this is his job, he's not a creep.
That's a creep job.
That's still
obviously.
a creepy guy, right?
I don't think. People hate the paparazzi, but they love gossip and pictures
Right.
that they
And
take.
they love pictures,
So
yeah.
They don't hate them. They can shut
No,
the fuck
you
up and
love
say
them.
they love them.
Stop
if they
it.
love them. Yeah. Or stop looking at the fucking juicy pictures they take.
Right. But if I just followed around a celebrity with no camera, I'm a creep.
Oh, you're a creep. With a camera, though, you should be getting paid for this now. Yeah.
Stupid.
You're one of the best in the biz now.
Yeah. Now I'm great.
Highly respected member of the community. So, but again, if you're famous, that's part of the it's part of the fucking
job.
game.
Yeah.
So now they accused the photographer of a brazen attempt to provoke Paul. So photographers could be basically so that other photographers could take pictures of that is what they were claiming here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's fined £100 for harassment, ordered to pay £1,535 in compensation and court costs, and a £60 victim surcharge.
He's going to lose his fucking award on fucking assault charges.
It's insane. This is what I mean. Yeah, he's going to lose it all. So December 1st, 2015, Paul claims that he tried to help the killer Raoul Moat after convincing himself he was his brother following a cocaine binge.
Wow.
Yes. He said he got so amped up that's what he did.
So he was going to save him because we're brothers.
Yeah, he brought a fishing rod, cooked chicken, and a drink.
Fishing rod.
He said he was so coked up, that's why he did it.
Let's go fishing, brother.
Let's
Opie.
go fishing. It'll all be fine. He said, quote, "You've got to realize I'm half cut anyway, sitting in the living room. I've got about 6 lines of cocaine lined up. Yeah. I'm not realizing much but a good line, and me and Raoul Moat are sort of friends. A couple more lines, and we're good buddies. A few whiskeys, another few lines. I've had about 8 lines, and we went to school together.
Yeah, we grew up together.
So
We're
now
pals.
now we're buddies." Now, traveling in the taxi, he's doing more lines going, it's my brother, I got to get there. So
my God.
He took a taxi to where Moat had been cornered by police but was denied access to him. After being told to just go home by an officer, he went to bed with a bottle of whiskey and woke up with no recollection of the incident. He read about it the next day. I did what now? I brought chicken and a fishing rod and a blanket to a murderer? Is that what I did?
A chicken.
He said... Didn't know what he did until he looked at his phone and saw hundreds of missed calls.
Yeah.
And all sorts of news alerts with his name on them. He said, quote, I was like, what have I done? I've got a chicken by my side, fishing rods, a barber. I'm like, fuck me, I must have done something. I turn on Sky News. Paul Gascoigne was there last night. ... He's a fucking...
fuck it all.
Oh, fuck all. He's a disaster. He's an absolute walking disaster at this point.
Unbelievable.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of drug and alcohol related, but not everybody who has drug and alcohol problems then do the dumbest things imaginable while on them. Some people just sit in their house and get drunk and you don't know about it. Yeah. This guy is like, I'm going to get chicken and a fishing rod.
And make the news.
And make the fucking news. And go get in the middle of a police standoff with a murderer.
Yeah.
That's
the bad man.
That's smart. So he can't just sit home and get drunk, which he should be doing.
Yeah.
Life would be better. So what if he's having hallucinations and everything else? Do it in your house. It's way worse to have him on the street.
Yeah, Nikki Sixx did it. You can do it too.
You can do it too. That's what I mean. Just sitting there. Think about it. He'll be sitting in his house trying to, fucking... not get out of the house.
Respooling his reel, just all alone.
Ordering some chicken, and then next thing you know, there'll be a knock on the door.
Yeah.
And he'll answer it. And it's Vince McMahon. That's who it is.
Oh, no.
That's right. It's Vince McMahon.
Oh, no.
Former, basically no titles at all for him now at this point. The titleless former head of WWE.
With a weird face.
With a very weird face of a strange, what did you call him, a Mexican soap opera villain?
Vampire.
Vampire, that's right. And he says... How is it you've come to arrive here? Oh, my goodness. This. Let me tell you something, Paul. Yeah. Paul, are you listening to me? I'm intense right now, Paul. I'm in Royal Rumble mode. That's right. Paul, I'm going to tell you this, Paul. I've seen a lot come and go over the crime and sports years. I have. God, I'm so worked up right now. I have. But never in the history of crime and sports has I felt a kindred spirit with such a man. I feel like you're the type of guy, Paul. Paul?
You're good
Paul,
for that.
Hold on, Paul. You're nodding off, Paul. Hold on. Paul!
Wake up.
Wake up. You and I together, we could shat upon women's heads from here over to England. You're famous in other places. We could poop on them in Italy, Paul. It's so good. Paul! Take your shirt off. Oh, your chest is... Oh, that's a concave chest there, Paul.
It's going the wrong way.
Hold on a minute, Paul. This is, I don't think I've thought this through, Paul. I'm gonna, oh, God. Hold on, Paul. I got a rumbling in my tummy, Paul. Hold on. Is your ex-girlfriend around, Paul? And he runs out of the house and poof, he's gone. And Paul's very confused about whether this was a alcohol and drug-induced hallucination or if Vince McMahon just tried to recruit him.
There is a poop on the floor.
There is, but he doesn't know if it's his or Vince's. He's not sure. He can't tell. You never can tell. So August 19th, 2016 here, he is fined in order to pay compensation after he admits to racially abusing the bodyguard in front of 1,000 people during one match show.
Jesus.
Yes, so you got to pay money. That the court said you targeted Mr. Rowe for no other reason than the color of his skin. You sought to get a laugh from an audience of 1,000 people because of the color of Mr. Rowe's skin. That's why I applaud the Crown Prosecution Service for bringing this matter to court. It's important that we challenge racist behavior in all its forms. So he is an evening with Gazza is his thing here.
That's a full evening.
Oh, my God. That is fucking funny. He also said, quote, I didn't know my security guard had got a suntan, too. It's another thing he said.
Oh, good Lord.
Jesus Christ, man. So he's just very hacky. Very, very hacky.
That's as far down the pole as you can get.
He said he meant no offense when the cops interviewed him and said it was just good humor. He said, though,
I would say humor.
It's hacky humor. He said, I'm upset that I upset him. Looking back, I said the wrong thing. I've upset somebody. I apologize from the bottom of my heart, and it will never happen again.
Boy.
So there you go. And he offered an apology there. And the judge said, you have lived a roller coaster life. That's a fact there. That's what he said, that it's the 21st century and fucking get with it is what they said to him.
Yeah.
So December 28th, 2016, he is taken to the hospital.
For what?
Well, guess. Could be a lot of things.
Does he have an infection? Is he sick?
No. He was taken to the hospital after getting in a drunken fight at a hotel.
That old trope. All right.
He was, quote, racially abusing customers at Ace Hotel.
What?
In East London and throwing money at them.
Like, in what context is that, Paul?
What the fuck are you doing? Luckily, he was taken to the head with a head injury, taken to the hospital with a head injury, which sounds like a well-deserved head injury.
Somebody had enough.
Yeah. A witness said that he was very drunk during the altercation. Yeah. This guy, Alvin Carpio, said he was racially abusing my mates and hitting one of them on the shoulder and head before throwing a $20 note on him, a 20-pound note on him. So they said that he'd been taken to the hospital with a head wound. He hadn't been arrested, though, but he was about to be released to be sent home.
I guess he got what he deserved.
No arrests were made. They were like, well, he got what he deserved. He doesn't want to press charges. Everybody walks away.
Yeah.
So that makes that's fun. So October 4th, 2018, he's going to be inducted into the Scottish Hall of Fame.
Of what?
It's just him and Billy Connolly. It's going to be a very...
and Shrek.
And Shrek. The character... We now introduce the character played by Mike Myers in So I Married an Axe Murderer. Yes, his father. It's just Mike Myers in a gray wig, but that's who we're inducting.
Yeah.
He was nominated before being chosen by an expert panel. He was, that's what he's doing here. He, other non-Scottish inductees into the Scottish Hall of Fame include Brian Laudrup, Henrik Larsson, and Terry Butcher. I don't know who any of those people are.
Yeah, you guys got to work harder.
Then October 2018, they go, maybe not.
They pull it?
Once it got out to the public, they got a bunch of shit for it, and the Hall of Fame statement said a number of factors are behind the move, saying that they're not going to put him in. It said further to consultation with the chair and members of the Scottish Football Hall of Fame committee due to a number of factors, including ongoing inquiries and concerns over the state of Paul's health. It's been decided to withdraw the nomination of Paul Gascoigne at this time from this year's nomination process.
Also, we just heard about a line about a suntan.
We're like, you know what? This is a lot going on.
There's probably a better one somewhere.
Plus, who knows if he's going to show up to the induction shit-faced and take a swing at somebody or so. You never, who the fuck knows what he's going to do.
Right.
You can't depend on the guy. So,
in his stead, we're going to induct the movie Braveheart.
Yeah, that's it. We're just going to do that. That's the only fucking thing we can do here at this point. November 19th, 2018, he's charged with sexually assaulting a woman on a train.
Oh, no.
From York to Durham. Now, he's arrested. I guess he was arrested on August 20th, but it comes out now. He's charged with one count of sexual assault by touching and will appear in court for it. Oh, my goodness. He said the charge relates to an incident on board the train of August 20th, and we'll find out about all of that. So he's a disaster.
Boy, is he.
I mean, imagine just the wake he has left behind of people who've tried to help him, friends, family, agents, girlfriends, wives, kids.
Everybody.
Fans, photographers, just a guy having a drink who's getting a 20 thrown on him and being called names by him. There's a lot going on that you're like, Jesus Christ, these fucking people have been through a lot.
Fuck together.
I feel sorry for all these people, Jimmy.
Yeah.
All of them. but not
What
nearly.
the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a few, too. This is a more common name than you'd think. Not nearly as bad as I feel for Paul Gascoigne. He works at Novus Renewables, went to Cornell University, lives in Salt Lake City, Utah. Just a blonde guy. Probably the most mild-mannered guy you can get.
That poor bastard's never had his name spelled right in Salt Lake. I guarantee that.
No. Paul Gascoigne, creative director for Life in a Day. I don't know what the fuck that is or where he is, but he speaks English because his whole thing's in English.
Wow.
I know that. So, yeah. Oh, he went. It's England. He went to West Surrey College of Art and Design.
That's it. Yeah.
So there's that guy. And Paul Gascoigne, director and founder of K10 Vision Limited in the United Kingdom as well. Oh, by the way, Paul Gascoigne, managing director at Goldman Sachs. In Hong Kong.
Give that man your money. He's just going to do coke with it.
Imagine you talk. Let me just Google this guy that I'm working with on a high-level, multi-billion-dollar deal. Oh my God, he's in the street with vodka bottles.
He's shooting
up ridiculous.
Coke.
This is nuts. Well, I'm not giving him a fucking dime. Poor bastard. So October 14th, 2019 is court for the quote-unquote sexual assault here. Now, I say quote-unquote because it is gross and stupid, and it's sexual, but it's like, it's gross. No one would want this happening to them. Put it that way.
From York to Durham? How far?
Yes,
is that? A long ride?
I don't know how long the fuck that is. You're asking me how long a train ride between York and Newcastle is? How the fuck should I know?
It's got to be an hour or two, right?
They're not the same town, so I would assume so. Yeah, it's got to have some distance.
I'm wondering, how long did he have to create this fucking situation?
Yeah, really. Yeah, how long are you on there for? Did this happen in 3 minutes? This is like between stops at a subway.
So we're going so far. I've got to come right now. What did he do?
No. His has nothing to do with coming or anything.
Okay.
They accuse him, and this is even in the papers here. I said the quote unquote because they say a quote unpleasant sexual assault.
I mean,
which I don't know what are pleasant.
Yeah,
that would be weird.
Yeah.
He denies sexual assault by touching. He told police he had, quote, kissed a fat lass.
Sir.
In order to, this is the best part, Jimmy.
Boy.
We've seen him. He's no fucking Adonis here.
Monster.
He kissed a fat lass to, quote, give her a confidence boost.
Hey, chin up, Tubby.
That's what he said. And then he kissed her. And then he kissed her. The complainant, the woman, was left shocked and upset here.
Yeah.
They said this case concerns a brief but unpleasant assault with sexual overtones on a train. He told police that it was a peck on the lips. And
lips?
He didn't consider it a serious matter. That's what Paul Gascoigne said. Gave her a quick peck on the lips.
You put your mouth on her mouth.
Hey, y'all, fatty. That's right. One of them.
If I put my lips in, you can't put food in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. If you lose weight that way. Oh, man.
Holy.
Fat butt on the train is all mine, all mine. Fat butt on the train is all mine. Fat butt on the train is all mine, all mine. Pump your arms up in the air while you sing it.
Get a Geordie in your mouth.
Oh, man. Now, I guess she had been traveling home and said that noticed a quote, shouty and sweary passenger behind her, which is hilarious. After drawing attention to himself, the man who she later learned was Paul Gascoigne had tried to sit on her.
Oh, boy.
And she doesn't know who he is at the time. She's not blown away by his stardom or anything.
No.
This isn't one of those things. We're like, oh, it's Paul Gascoigne. She's like, who is this weirdo on a train trying to sit on me?
Yeah.
So she tried to move away from him. He put his hands on her and kissed her, is what she said.
Good Lord.
When confronted by the other passengers, he told them that he was just trying to give her a confidence boost.
Oh, Paul.
Then when the police confronted him, he said that, listen, the other passengers had been teasing her about her build.
Oh, she's being bullied on the train.
Yeah, adults are calling her fat on the train. And he said that he jumped in and tried to give her a confidence boost and give her a little kiss and say, there you are, lassie.
You're not so ugly, I'd fuck you.
I'd fuck you. Now, the other lady was a bit of a larger woman, and he had no problem grabbing onto her tit, so he just likes to fucking, he thinks it's his right to just touch fat ladies.
It feels like he thinks that they won't say boo.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, they'll be happy about it. It's fucking wild. So
just be happy someone touched them.
The prosecutor described it as a blatant act and added that it was humiliating for the woman involved, adding perhaps it was him showing off. He said the prosecution in this case is that it was a sexual assault, and we will seek to prove it by making you sure that it was nothing else. The complainant said that it was not a peck like on the cheek. She told the jury it was forceful, and said there were also that he was very noisy on the train, and said there was, quote, lots of cans on the floor.
Oh, I wonder where those came from.
Yeah, he's shit-faced kissing ladies on the train going, oh, I given her a confidence boost.
A lingering peck. So you can call it a peck, but it's like your lips were mushed against hers for probably 4 or 5 seconds.
He didn't come on and go, "Ma" on the cheek and go, "You're beautiful in my book there, lassie," which still is not okay. Don't touch people.
No.
But that would have been like, oh, there's nothing sexual about that. You know what I mean? That's just...
It's just awful behavior.
It's just annoying and stupid and, ew, get away from me. But it's not like, you know, you didn't think, oh, I bet his dick was rock hard when he was doing that. Whereas a kiss on the lips, you're like, oh, I could get whatever you have by doing that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
You know? So she told the jury, quote, he kept saying sorry. I said, it's fine. I was just looking out of the window. He said sorry a second time and then tapped my arm. I turned around. This is after he tried to sit on her.
Yeah.
She said she had put on her headphones to try to ignore him when he was behind her, but he kept bothering her.
Yeah.
She said, I turned around to face him, and he grabbed my face and kissed me full on the lips. And I was taken aback because it was completely out of the blue. I just completely froze. So, can't do that.
No.
Obviously. She said, I had already made up my mind to report it to the travel police because it was unwanted behavior, and there's no instigation on my part wanting any attention from him.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, she said that she was very shaken, and this is a trial. It's going to due to last 5 days.
Holy.
Could we, like, what the fuck? Like, why does it take 5 days to adjudicate this?
How many fucking witnesses do you got to call?
It's 5 days. Get some. She said it happened. He said it happened.
Done
What are we fucking talking about here? Get two people from the train and go, yeah, I saw it. That's a fucking day. Move on. What are we doing here? She also said that he was drinking something from a milk carton, but said it was certainly not the color of milk. So he put booze in a milk carton.
Gross.
And drank it on a train.
What's weirder to drink in public, booze or milk?
Definitely milk. Milk is weird to drink, period.
Yeah, it's weird that you're drinking that at home, but to do that in public? Jesus, man.
So brought me milk out, eh? So October 15th here, he breaks down in tears in court as he denies sexually assaulting the woman. Okay. He wanted to reassure her, he said, because he heard another passenger describe her as, quote, fat and ugly.
She was unfuckable, mate.
Yeah, so I just was trying to,
Your Honor, they called her unfuckable.
I was doing her a favor here, really. I was trying to tell everybody that I'll throw one at her if she needs it.
I'll leave it in you, for Christ's sake.
He said it wasn't sexual. He said it wasn't sexual at all. No. He said he was traveling with his nephews. He wouldn't be sexual there.
Stopped short of it.
He said while passengers were asking for selfies and autographs, he heard a man who he could not see say about a female passenger, what do you want a photo of her for? She's fat and ugly. And he said that he previously had trouble with his weight, so he automatically went to sit down next to the woman and reassure her. He told her, "You're not fat and ugly, you're beautiful," he said. He became emotional while giving this evidence, too, in court. So he said that jurors were also handed a file of photos showing him kissing and being kissed by famous people. Not that means that she wanted to kiss.
Yeah, right.
A photo of him kissing Princess Diana was even included.
Oh.
But the thing was, when she was alive, he was famous and beloved.
Right.
Now, he's a fat alcoholic.
If she was alive today, she wouldn't allow it.
No, she'd be like,
way.
get that fucking... He has bugs, probably. Get him away from me. So that's what they said. They said that he was invited to several bar mitzvahs, and on one occasion, he greeted a rabbi's wife by hugging and kissing her. He apologized when he realized what he had done. He said, so sometimes I'm just friendly. I'm just gregarious.
Okay.
Yeah. They also heard lots of people say he was intoxicated and drunk when he did all this.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, prior to traveling to the hotel, one person who had spoken to him said, quote, "I know what it's about." Then when the cop walked up to him, he said, "I know what it's about. I kissed a fat lass."
You can't just say that.
He said, "People have come up to me and kissed me all the time."
Yeah.
He said, quote, he said that he had only had 3 or 4 cans of beer prior to the incident because he couldn't drink hard liquor because it made him, quote, spew up.
Okay.
He said, I can have beer, I won't spew up. Any shots, I spew up immediately.
Yikes.
So he had some kind of operation here. He took his, he said that any impression that he'd been slurring his words were wrong because he just got new teeth put in. So he took the bridge out and said, "See how different I sound? So I sound like I'm slurring when I take these out." That's all it is. So that's wow. October 17th, he's cleared of sexual assault.
Wow.
Yeah, they clear him. The jury said that he's free to go. He's cleared of a lesser charge by sexual assault by beating, or of assault by beating. That's the thing. I think the sexual part made people go, I don't know if it was sexual.
Okay.
But it's still, you can't just kiss people.
Still weird, yeah.
It's fucking weird. Like, you can't just do that. I don't know. He said that he's looking forward to getting on with his life, though. Okay. That's what he knows. I don't know. That's wild. He said, his lawyer said, quote, or she said, this is the defense for him, his lawyer, said that in his own way, he thought he was making a larger woman have more body confidence. It's a clumsy way to go about building someone's confidence, but it was not sexual.
What a bizarre thing to say out loud.
That is so fucking strange. Yeah, so he's all cleared up, ready to go. So then we go to March 2021, March 16th, 2021. He's on a reality show called I'm a Celeb, Italy. So
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
It's one of those, yeah.
Just Italy.
Just an Italy version. He jumps from a helicopter into the Honduras Sea on the Italian version of the show.
Yeah.
And hurt himself.
Oh.
Because, that's dangerous.
It was, I was looking forward to and never came back up.
No, he's there. He jumped from a helicopter before swimming to land as he was introduced, and I guess he was injured.
Yeah, because that's how they do that at the beginning of the show. They drop him out of a helicopter into some fucking island, and then they have to swim to shore, and then they have to survive on the. And if you scream, "I'm a celebrity, get me out of here," they'll come get you. And
so it's Survivor with celebrities,
where you voluntarily leave, unless
yeah.
If nobody leaves, then they have a vote off. But somebody inevitably
they're all
says,
leaving.
I'm tired of shitting in a hole.
They're fucking, that's not going to happen here. September 22nd, 2021 here. Richard Madeley and Susanna Reid were on Good Morning Britain, and they said they were talking about Paul Gascoigne, and because Paul Gascoigne, or they spoke to him, he paid a moving tribute to his pal Jimmie Graves here. Oh. This guy had died at the age of 81.
Fuck.
And what's his name? Richard Madeley praised him for beating his demons. Paul.
Has he?
Wow. He said, I just continue to do what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying my life. And they said, well, you look well. You look really well. And then another comment said, you've just become a grandfather, haven't you? And he said, oh, yes, lovely little kid.
Yeah, oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, it's a pretty decent little shit.
Yeah, and people were saying how great he looked. Wow, people were tweeting how I couldn't even recognize him. He looks so great now. This is amazing. And okay, yeah, he's amazing. So December 30th, 2021, on Good Morning Britain, he's talking about his struggle with alcohol and how he has also been diagnosed bipolar and we know all of his problems. And they said, huge congratulations for beating your demons. Again, they said that to him.
Right.
So he keeps talking about it. His problems, he said, didn't stop with alcohol. After taking cocaine, he experienced severe psychosis. And he said the worst was a psychosis through the cocaine 10 years ago when my sister got me sectioned. The paranoia was unbelievable. I was frightened to touch food.
Sure.
Jesus Christ. He said 2.5 years ago, I'd been on a bender and they got me to Cottonwood Rehab Center in Arizona. I had the shakes for 2 days. Not too bad, but the third day there was nothing they could do to stop the shakes. I was rushed to a hospital, and I heard a doctor on the phone to Cottonwood, and he said, this guy's not going to make it. He will die. And I said, please don't let me die. I need to water my plants back home.
What?
They were injecting my heart and lungs to keep me alive. Jesus Christ. And there was even...
What?
I have no idea
Adrenaline or something?
Something, I guess, to keep him going. There was a rumor that spread that he died at that time, but he didn't, obviously. So, yeah, he talks about all of that. April 13th, 2022, another documentary.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
Yes, another one comes out now. So they keep fucking coming out. It's airing on BBC Two. It's called Gazza, and it details the football hero's struggles, which it claimed was worsened by the actions of the tabloid press. Okay. So they're getting on his narrative here. So he also tells people at the height of his drug addiction, he was snorting 16 lines of coke every day.
Oh, my.
He said, you think, well, how did I get myself in a state like that, especially taking cocaine? It was there on a plate, and I thought I'd try it, and I couldn't stop. I locked myself in a hotel room for 6 weeks. He hasn't been able to digest a decent meal in 6 weeks.
That's got to be 2 8-balls, right?
It depends on how big the lines are. That could be anything from a little, they could be big fat lines. Right. I mean, we don't fucking know.
Jesus.
He says he'll always be an alcoholic. His ex-wife here said the world got Gazza the charmer and I got Paul the abuser. They're two different people.
You guys got the best of him.
She published her memoir, Stronger, My Life Surviving Gazza, as well.
Christ.
My Life That's like Christy Martin's book, where her husband actually literally tried to murder her and left her for dead after she, with holes in her and shit.
He shot her in the fucking face with her own gun.
That's something. So he apologized to his ex-wife here and all of that. He told a friend, I've made up, she's in my life again. I want to become a proper family again. She's a remarkable woman. I don't deserve her. That's true. That's the first thing he said here. That's true. I don't know of any woman that could put up with his shit.
He's a lot.
He's a bit of a fucking mess here. So, 14 lines of coke he said he took before going to meet the murderer guy, trying to do that. I thought I could take Raoul Moat fishing because he was near a river. Hey, cops, back off for a minute. Let us catch a couple of
right
fish.
There, boys.
And
let's
then
get down to the shoreline.
Now, 38 days on the island, the I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here Caribbean island version.
He did 38
days? Yeah.
Wow.
He had to be airlifted to a hospital after one trial because he dislocated his shoulder, though. But then he ended up coming back, but then he ended up leaving because his shoulder was still bothering him. So that was the main problem, and they said he's looking wonderful. April 20th, 2023. Paul wins a show called Scared of the Dark. He's now doing celebrity reality competition shows and says the show made him a better person.
Oh.
Let's talk about what Scared of the Dark is. It is a British reality television series presented by Danny Dyer. The series follows 8 contestants as they live in complete darkness for 8 days.
Jesus, what?
The first series of 5 episodes aired over 5 consecutive nights. Described as a world first, 8 celebrity contestants spend 180 hours living, completing tasks, eating and sleeping in complete darkness in a specially built set. There's also a psychiatrist there who monitors the contestants and analyzes their activities. It's in a way, it's compared to the exit strategy of I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, because you have to shout, I'm scared of the dark at any time, and then you can leave.
I like it.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
but how do you see them? Infrared cameras? Can I watch a whole episode of fucking infrared camera footage?
Yeah,
I don't think I can watch
all
that.
it is them sitting down and not doing a goddamn thing, right? Because they can't fucking see.
But they have to like do tasks and like eat and cook and they have to basically do a bunch of shit just in the dark, which has to be so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be called I'm fucking blind. What's going on?
It should be called I'm desperate to get any kind of money.
I need cash. So other people
should be called my home is in foreclosure.
Yeah. They're taking my shit from me. My car has been repoed. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
So the celebrities involved in this, Nicola Adams, who's a former boxer, Chloe Burrows, who was on Love Island, Chris Eubank, a former super middleweight boxer, Paul, obviously, Max George, the lead singer of The Wanted, who I've never heard of. I don't know who that is. Chris,
no, I don't know.
You said, like I know that band well. No.
I don't know. I thought I knew them.
Chris McCausland, do you know what he does for a living?
No.
Comedian.
Is that right?
Yeah, no idea. Neither of us ever heard of him. Another television personality, Scarlett Moffat, and then Donna Preston, an actor, writer, and comedian. So he is it's the first time they did the show, and Paul wins.
Wow.
He wins it all, and he's like, when I'm shit hammered, it's just like
Here's
I close my eyes most of the time anyway.
I've been in blackouts darker than this.
Yeah. If you give him a bunch of booze, he'll just stumble through the whole thing and not even remember it.
Problem.
So, yeah, following his win, he said he'd been nervous to take part, but his experience made him a better person. He says, people always question my mental strength, but my success on this series proves that I am strong.
Yeah. It
I
also
was
proves
nervous.
that you're used to living in the darkness. You can deal.
You're a fucking mess. How drunk is he? I'm sure he just doesn't turn the lights on sometimes.
Yeah,
He's like,
probably,
it just hurts my eyes. Oh God, I can't do it.
Oh, it gives me a headache.
He says, I was nervous going in, but having gotten this far in the series made me the happiest man around. I've got my smile back. I'm a better person.
Well, I mean, you don't have your smile back. You can't get your teeth back.
Yeah, well, he got some more new ones put in, I guess.
Did he?
Yeah. They're all good now. All fixed.
They're not drilled in, though, right? They're just plates, right?
He said he was going to the dentist. I think he's going to get them fixed and put in permanent. Good for him. Get him screwed on in there, big guy. So I guess they said the mounting psychological pressures of light deprivation while taking on the faceless challenges. Okay. Failing challenges resulted in a loss of further privileges, although wins would earn you treats and precious time in the light.
Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, as he was declared the winner, they praised him for his openness. And one of the people on the show said, the way he has been so open about his emotions and talking about his mental health, I feel that's probably the most remarkable thing that's happened.
Okay.
The journey for him has been really, really hard, and I think that he needs to be proud of himself. Be proud. Yeah. Here's some shit that he said on the show, though. That's pretty funny. There's one guy here, Chris Eubank. That's the middleweight boxer, super middleweight boxer. He was pissed off at him.
Oh?
He was pissed off about this because he said Paul told a very crude story on the show. It was, we'll talk about it here. He met Margaret Thatcher at 10 Downing Street, which is where the Prime Minister lives, and they all burst into giggles, and all the other contestants, but Chris was all pissed off here. Okay. He apparently said that I may get myself into trouble here, but when I went to 10 Downing Street, I put my arm around Maggie Thatcher. Oh, yeah. God almighty, I felt myself getting hard. He wanted to fuck Margaret Thatcher? Okay. Everybody has their own
goggles,
what they're into, but
yeah.
If you're like, with Margaret Thatcher, you got fucking problems in the 80s when she was prime minister, for Christ's sake.
How hard up were you, bud?
I started getting hard. He was like a young man at that point. And I thought, quick, I better just go release this. So I quickly went to the toilet and just whacked one out.
He admitted to not just being aroused by Margaret Thatcher.
Whacking one out quick in her bathroom.
He jerked off in the Prime Minister's house.
So he wouldn't essentially jerk off on her leg or something.
So he wouldn't sexually assault Margaret Thatcher.
So he wouldn't grab her by the cheeks and kiss her and call her a good-looking fat lass. Oh, my God. He said, horny bit, just come on out. That's his hard on. Horny bit, just come on out.
Yikes.
And I wasn't going to walk with a boner. Walk with a boner on, like he placed it on him. So I just quickly, and then he did that. The Chris Eubank guy was very pissed off.
Just offended.
Yep, he said it's unfortunate that that's probably true. Okay, so let's lift up the octave or the class. Let's lift it up. What you've done there, Paul, that's your pub talk, man. That's not for here. That's all he's got, though.
Save that for the bar, mate.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? He said, another guy said, quote, he's brazen. He'll drink you underneath the table. He's a legend that's not legendary. What's legendary is Paul and what he did. He was a superstar in football. I want to know Paul. He's a beautiful man. Okay. So November 21st, 2023, he talks about, quote, opens up about his addiction here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says that he's, he said, quote, the thing is that once I start, that's it. He's talking to Vinnie Jones, by the way, the guy who grabbed his balls. There's another crime and sports alumni here. He said, once I start, that's it. I cannot stop, and it's a nightmare. He said, it wasn't so much the drink, it was the consequences, Vinny. Yeah, obviously, that's everybody's thing.
Yeah.
If you just let them drink in peace, they'll just eventually die. But if they can get in trouble for like running their car into a fucking tree, then that's another problem.
Was this on Vinny's podcast or something?
It's some interview show, yeah. He said, God fucking hell the consequences. The thing is, when you're in it, you're in it. Do you know what I mean? A nightmare. And then you become a loner and no one wants to speak to you.
Did you know if you just kiss people that don't want to be kissed, you get in trouble?
It's fucking weird. And you go, oh, she's a fat lass. I was giving her a bit of the sugar. You can't do that. You feel bad now. Should I get you a sandwich?
Feel better now.
Yeah. So January 2nd, 2024, he is found outside of a Bournemouth travel lodge after an argument with two people. He is found physically and mentally battered.
What?
And arguing, and currently arguing with the people outside a seafront travel lodge. So they said he could barely string a sentence together when he was spotted outside the Budget Motel last Thursday.
It's the same
an actual.
Kind of thing as
that's
it is
what
here. Wow.
I was thinking. Is that like a name for like a hotel center or something over there? No, like the actual travel lodge.
It's the same as it is in America.
Super 8 by the sea is what this was. The newspaper proprietor is what they call him, by the way. Oh no, he was seen having a row with a man and a woman who allegedly were trying to take money from him when a Good Samaritan, Terry Swinton, stepped in. So this Terry Swinton, who I guess is 54 and owns a newspaper, was staying at the hotel when he went outside for a smoke, and he saw, quote, his hero in some trouble.
Paul.
He said he didn't witness the fight, but he told the pair to, quote, do one when they tried to grab the 10 pounds he offered Gascoigne to get a taxi home. So I guess they tried to take it away. So he took Paul back inside of the hotel to sober him up and sat with him for 10 minutes before leaving him with hotel staff. He's like, he tried to kiss me. I've had enough. So this was his quote. This is Swinton from London. Quote, I went downstairs for a fag during the football and immediately recognized who he was. He's a hero of mine. When I saw him, I was heartbroken, to be honest. Men of a certain age, we all know who he is. We have grown up with him.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't have any money on me, but I went back upstairs to get some money to get a taxi home. When I went to hand him the money, the man and a woman tried to take it, and I told them to do one and told Gazza to get inside. So you go fuck yourself, you come inside. He said he couldn't string a sentence together and he was physically and mentally battered. I made sure the two people didn't take anything off him and went back upstairs to watch the football. When I went up to watch the football, I wasn't interested. I kept thinking of Gazza. I am old school. You see someone in trouble, I want to make sure they get home all right. It just so happened to be Paul Gascoigne. Yeah, I'm sure if it was just some fucking schlub homeless guy, you would have you intervene whenever a homeless person's in trouble, I bet, too, huh?
You'd make sure that guy gets back to a halfway house or some shit.
No shit. Yeah, he said, I said good morning to him and asked him how he was feeling. He could barely string a sentence together. As someone who's grown up with him, I was heartbroken to see him this way.
Sure.
Jesus, man, he's having a lot of problems. So at this point in time, and who the fuck knows? We know with the net worth shit. It says his net worth is $500,000, which could very well be true.
You think so?
It could, because he's doing a bunch of reality shows. He's got appearances and stuff. He could have $500,000 somewhere.
There could be money somewhere, sure.
Yeah, but all of his other money is gone. Here is Dino Zoff. This is a former Italian goalkeeper, and this is a fun quote. This sums up Gazza in 2 sentences. Quote, he was a lovely boy, lovely, such a heart, but a troubled boy. He ate ice cream for breakfast, he drank beer for lunch, but a player, oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Ate ice cream for breakfast and beer for lunch.
Yeah, he's
Beautiful
a child.
man. Yeah.
Grown child. On the field, though, beautiful, he says.
Wow.
Can't get enough of Paul Gascoigne? Well, here is a signed England Euro 1996 football jersey of his, framed and everything, $420 or best offer.
His shit still sells for good money.
Oh yeah, no, he's very popular. And also, if you let's say you want to rock some Paul Gascoigne, and we are going to absolutely get this. We have a Paul Gascoigne, wow, Fog on the Tyne 7-inch vinyl single,
LP.
And it has, dude, check it out. It has his picture on it.
Look at that.
On the actual record is his picture. That's the thing.
His cover is terrible.
Or the pre-owned Paul Gascoigne Fog on the Tyne with him with his arms up with the headphones on, the regular thing there. That is £5.74 plus $12.69 shipping if you want to buy it from the U.S.
Sure.
So we can get that for under $20, like $20, $25. We're absolutely doing that. That record will be in our studio
right
before
next to Hakeem Olajuwon.
Next to him, next to Allen Iverson's and fucking Kobe's dumb shit and all of it. It's all going to be there.
Wow.
So everybody, that is Paul Gascoigne. 4 parts of crazy. I would take this as advice from this.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you have a problem, get help, obviously.
Yes.
Number 2, you have to come on to somebody before you kiss them.
You got to get permission, too.
You got to get permission. But I mean, you have to get in with them first to where they're like, yeah, they want me to kiss them.
Right.
You can't just assume that your kiss will bring them confidence
and joy,
and therefore they won't feel bad about their body anymore. That's not okay to assume. So that amongst another million other things not to do.
He has taught me so many lessons that I already knew.
That's what I mean. So many lessons that a 55-year-old man like him should know that he doesn't fucking know, apparently.
Wow.
He's not going to stop.
No.
I mean,
he's going to go till he dies. Yeah.
That was less than a month ago. He was shit-faced like that. Yeah. So what's going to happen here? He's too old to be living like this anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to kill himself with this shit.
Is he 55 now?
He's older than that, yeah.
Is he?
I think he's 54 now.
So, boy.
It's too old, man. You can't be fucking drinking like that. You can't be doing that stuff. We're going to hear about him with a tragic ending very soon, and it's fucking sad because, honestly, when the guy's sober, sounds like he's a terrific guy. Yeah. Everybody loves him when he's sober. He'll do anything for anybody, and then as soon as he's drinking, it's just, there's fucking Mr. Hyde or Dr. Jekyll or whichever one was bad. I don't remember now.
I think it was Jekyll.
That Hyde was bad. Hyde is bad.
Yeah,
Dr. Jekyll is doing shit, and then he turns into Mr. Hyde.
Hyde's a piece of shit. Yeah.
He's nighttime bad. Yeah. So, he's Mr. Hyde here. So, I don't know, man. We'll, England, keep an eye on this guy.
For certain? What did they say?
Yeah. If you enjoyed any of these shows, for certain, any of the 4 parts, for certain, get on whatever app you're on and give us 5 stars. It helps a lot. It really does. Share the show. Tell your friends about the show and do all of that shit and keep listening, even to people you don't fucking ever heard of. If you listen to this and you're like, I like soccer, I'm that.
Tell your
doesn't
friends.
fucking matter. We'll
They
tell you
trust
about
you.
some crazy stories that'll be fun. You don't have to be interested in every subject you see a
No.
documentary on, but by the
No.
end of it, you go, that was fucking interesting.
Not bad, yeah.
That's Crime and Sports. So check that out. Do that. Follow us on social media. We're at Crime and Sports, wherever you want to find us there.
Mm-hmm.
You can also definitely head to shutupandgivememurder.com. All sorts of merch up. Tickets for live small town murders all throughout 2024. You definitely want to listen to your stupid opinions every Monday morning. So Monday night, you're going to get Crime and Sports coming out. Monday morning, you're going to get your stupid opinions. You can fill the day.
Pretty
with
good
us,
deal. Yeah.
And if you're very bored. So do that. If you really have no life and some reason want to hear us twice in a day.
If you need that, then we can give it.
We'll give it to you. That's
It's
the
a
thing.
deal.
We will give it to you. We'll give you as much as you want.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing all that, and thanks for all that you do for us. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material. Holy shit. Best deal in podcasting. $5 cup of coffee.
You bet.
A mere cup of coffee. Instead of that, skip one day and instead get a couple hundred back episodes you can binge on immediately and new ones every other week. God damn it. This week is no different. This week, what you're going to get for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about some of the strangest injuries in sports history. Some real weird shit, crazy injuries too, where you're like, good Lord, is his leg on him still?
Yeah.
Shit like that. Weird stuff. And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about old-timey murders, which is fun as shit. We go back into the newspaper articles, the archives of articles, and we find all sorts of super fucking weird, crazy murders that take place. And the old newspapers were super graphic about this shit, so they're a lot of fun.
Very
just to
frank
hear
and
in a flowery language, though, which is usually even funnier.
Yeah.
So check all that out. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And if you do that, you will also get a shout out where Jimmie's going to mispronounce your name. He wants to say it right, but God damn it, let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen that often. That said, I think it's about that time, Jimmie.
Yeah.
I need to hear the list of the most wonderful fucking people in the world who support the show, keep it going, and who I'd just like to say thank you to. Jimmie, hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producer, Jordan Bennett, Alina Montroy. Happy birthday, Alina. Elena.
Hell yeah.
Alina? I don't know. Nathan
Alina.
Schrage. You guys are fantastic. Truly, thank you for going above and beyond. You don't have to do as much as you do, and you do it
Fucking
anyway,
amazing.
and we got to fucking say thank you.
You're incredible
Other
people.
producers
Thank
this
you,
week are
honestly.
Liz Vasquez, Janice Hill, Rebecca Sorensen,
Hey.
Adkins Acres, Golden Retriever Pups. Hey, thank you.
Oh,
Golden
all right.
Retrievers, that's me. You Suck Wang also, James, is a person who donated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You Suck Wang, James. You
Oh.
do.
I do?
I don't know. That's
Whoever does?
Whoever wrote it.
Oh, that's
all
all
right.
right.
Schmooples, Devourer of Mortal Souls.
Hey, listen, you ask Wang, and he's going to tell you how good it is, so go fuck yourself.
Stuffer Cold Tuna Casserole. Oh, boy. All right. Ben Goats, Jennifer Souter, I think. C-Stir. C, the letter C, and then S-T. Oh, C-Stir. C-Stir.
This episode brought to you by the letter C.
And your sister. Alasia, Creestar, Darling Edgington, Robin would know last name, Jay would know last name, Haley Bright, Zach Nicholas, Vicky Spooey, no, Suey. Yikes, sorry about that.
Messed that one up good.
Who says gross? Kayla Boyles, Hannah Jurgens, Nikki Coakley, James Rasmussen, Darren would know last name, Brandon Eisenbacher, Nicole Wright, Cecil would know last name, also Cecil Brown. Probably the same person. I can't imagine.
Dual Cecils.
Two Cecils signed
Only
up.
one
Thank you,
Cecil. Fight to the death,
I appreciate
Cecils.
you having two of these. You're a darling.
One Cecil, dominate the other one.
Alyssa Ilchert. There may only be one. T. Nani Chus. Noni?
There
Noni
can only
Chus.
be one, Jimmy.
There can only be one. Sydney Hunter, Carl Zart, Shannon Lath, Sean Dwyer, Paulo. How do you say that, James? Paulo, right?
Paulo?
P-A-O-L-O.
Yes,
P-A-O-L-O. Yeah,
Paulo.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Turco. Jeremy Gaeta. Victoria Darnell. Hunter would know last name. Kim would know last name. Caitlin Lackey. Casey Hostert. Aimcoes would know last name. Dana Hunter. Sydney would know last name. Trina Monismith. Jamie Cunningham. Roman Massey. Jarrett Fowlers. Nope, that's Flowers. Kristen House. Kelly Magapat. Magopat. Jana. Jana Kopecky, Lowell Stevens, Rowdy McElfresh, Lacey Jones, Phelan, Galligan. Jesus, motherfuck. Melissa McClay, Katie Dione. Lane with no last name. Allen with no last name. Hillary Polito. Aurora with no last name. Diane Ringel. Deezy Chavez. Steph Queck. Joseph Bruto. Lindsay Richardson. April Criswell. Robin Swain. Bailey Hurst. Nicole with no last name. Rob with no last name. Alyssa Morris. A. Casey. War Wolf. Moira Speroni. JJ with no last name. Mike Literate. You son of a bitch. Mike Litteris. Okay. Angie McCord, Laura Davis, Leah Pyle, Soul
Better
Bleach.
than Hunt, I guess.
It is, yeah. Bill Schmansky, Alex Lenz, Ernest Banks. Oh, is that right? Ernie, Jeff Hendren, Shauna Nelson, Jeff with no last name, Hillary Ocker, Eric Ferris, Al Bundy's love child, Stephanie Roy Harrow, Leon, Toy Thomas Loit, Christy Pappas, Sean, nope, that's Sarah, Treese, Sean and Sarah, same thing. Spencer Clark, Nate Gross Nicholas, that's St. Nicholas's terrible brother. Angelica
not as nice.
Francaschini's, Miss Tess.
He steals Amazon packages off your porch.
Rather than leaving gifts, that's Gross Nicholas.
Bizarro Santa. Sorry.
Gabrielle McClanahan, Rue's other kid. Adam.
Rue's child there.
Adam Beard, Melissa Altman, Eli Buzajor, Avery Brown, Dylan Ellis, Pamela with no last name, Santa Selling Pa, what? Carla Walsh, Punky Brewster, okay, Eileen Chiason.
Nice to see she's back.
It's been a while. Paris Morse, there was a run of like mischievous girls. There was her and Pippi Longstocking and
Punky.
It was a good time.
Yeah, mischievous orphan girls.
Just being little shits.
Super orphans all the time. Orphans were big in the 80s.
They really were.
Webster, Different Strokes, Punky. There's fucking pound them out.
Broken Homes. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Lana Finnegal, Wand. What is this name?
Yom Kippur Wong?
Long Fanatical. Lon Fanigal? Fangel. All right.
I thought you said Yom Kippur Wong. I was like, that's the strangest name I've ever heard.
As close as I'll ever get to
half
this.
Jewish, half Chinese. That's
Listen,
me. How's
Wales.
everybody doing?
They know who they are. It's a lot of W's, N's, and G's.
Yes.
Fabulous 35, Tess Schaefer, Kaylee Ashenfelter. Yikes. Pete Petticone. Kate the Great, James Coccaro, Hannah Kelly, Michelle Roberts, Katie Baker, Bex Wagner, David Lisa, Ashton Lambeth, Tiara Marie, Jen with no last name, Alana Hall, Nick Burkett, Caitlin Euchre. I hope you're related to Bob. That'd be amazing. Joshua
awesome.
Gifford, I wish. God damn it, I wish. Chevy with no last name. Adam Norbudas. Probably. Nikki Doches. Courtney Hish. Devin Marie. Bree with no last name. Angela Feeder. Chris Freese maybe. Chelsea Schroner. All right. Joshua Fisher. Austin D. Scotty Barber. Alexis Pedragon, Joe Talberg, Lance from Quitman, Abby with no last name, Killian Long Ross, Athy, Kaylin Chastain, Money Muscle, Carol Abbas, and all of our patrons. Obviously, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Awesome. Thank you. You guys are the fucking best for all that you do for us. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to thank Ian, our research person, for this, because this was
my God.
This was a lot of stuff. So great job on this.
Hope you're still around next week, Ian?
Yeah, he might be buried, and I'm sure Paul Gascoigne will come over and maybe assault him in some way. We're not sure.
Ian did it, Paul.
He did it. It's all him. It's not us.
He'll give him a
enjoy.
kiss.
Yeah, give him a good sloppy one. I think he'll enjoy it. So there you go. Thank you so much. Wrapping up Paul Gascoigne. We'll be back next week with someone who didn't have quite as crazy of a life. So But it'll still be crazy, obviously.
Sure.
Just not 4 parts worth. We'll cram it into one. Thank you so much for hanging with us through all of this, and we will definitely keep coming back. And live from the Crime and Sports Studios, we'll see you next week.
Mwah. Bye.
If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.